Coming up, Ty from Comeuppance is on for his monthly stint, and we're going to be looking at two from Dermot Mulroney. We'll be looking at Ruthless, directed by Art Camacho, which is currently on Hulu, and Lights Out, directed by Christian Sesma, which is also on Hulu. It's got Frank Grillo, Mekhi Phifer, and Scott Adkins as well. So interesting. It's like our second Sesma film, because we also did Section 8, the Dolph film, also directed by Sesma, that has like this tiny little bit of Adkins in it. Just a smidge of Adkins, I guess, to wet your whistle. So maybe at some point we'll do a full-on Adkins. But yeah, so those are coming up here at just a bit. Next week, Rich Haas from DTV Digest is on. We're going to be looking at Angel Town from Olivier Gruner there. So just the one film we'll be looking at, but his first film. And I think it's the first time we've had Gruner on the site. We've really talked about a Gruner film on the podcast. I was trying to think. I know one of the monthly stints that Ty was on, we looked at Showdown in Rio Bravo, or Gunfight in Rio Bravo, something in Rio Bravo that Nevsky did, and that had Gruner in it. But this is kind of the first episode devoted to a Gruner film. So that'll be a good one. That'll be coming up next week. And then in 2 weeks, Ty is back with his brother Brett. They'll be looking at, from Comeuppance, we'll be looking at our third unsung Dolph list. Dolph has quite the catalog. I mean, on the site we've done 70 Dolph movies. So the fact that we're able to get a third unsung out of that, I think we might move on to other unsungs after this one. But it was good to kind of get one more list of Dolph movies out. And I think what we'll do, because those other episodes are far in the past, I think one was like 83 and one was like 106 or 104 or something like that. I'm going to create a letterbox list, hopefully before the episode drops, so that you can kind of go back and look at the movies that we've chosen for our different Dolph list. So keep an eye out for that as well. And that'll be closing out the month of June for us there. So another really good, strong month there that we've had at the DTVC podcast. Now, of course, DTVC Extra, that won't be this week, but next week we'll be continuing on our Star Trek original cast franchise that we'll be looking at. We'll be looking at numbers 3 and 4. So that kind of finishes off that sort of like that mini trilogy within the series that they had, right? So you had the first movie, then 2, 3, and 4 kind of are their own little story arc within the movies, and then 5 and 6 are kind of their own things. And then, of course, 7 starts us off with the Next Generation, which I won't be doing that one. What I might do, that might be its own series later on down the road, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, so look for that, not this Thursday, but next Thursday, the DTVC Extra continuation, looking at the Star Trek series there, the Star Trek franchise. In terms of the site, I'm hoping to get Enemy Gold reviewed this week. Again, I'm going to be going away this week again, and so if you remember last month when I went away for the weekend, I ended up not getting a post up at all. I'm hoping to avoid that, so I'm hoping to kind of get that post maybe in the can before I go. So it may even post earlier than the usual Saturday, Sunday posting times. It seems like it's been leaning more towards Sundays, right, that I've been posting those. But either way, those weekend posts, it might be before that, but that's the plan. Get Enemy Gold in there. So kind of getting close on the Sedaris movies, at least reviewing them on the site. I think after Enemy Gold, I'm trying to think. I know we've got Return to Savage Beach that we've still got to do, but that might be it. We don't have many more. I was trying to think. Oh, also we've got to do the original Malibu Express. I still haven't done that one yet. But remember, I did Dallas Connection and Day of the Warrior out of order. So that's why we don't have many left to go there with those Sedaris films. But that'll be fun. I mean, the site should have all of them, right? So hopefully we'll get them all up eventually. And then I was looking at maybe after that one, a movie called Star Slammer. So if you remember recently, I did a movie called, I think it was Galaxy Warriors. It was for the Indie Post for maybe the month of April that I did. And Star Slammer, Federal and Ray film, kind of, it felt like it borrowed a lot from that. And I really enjoyed that one. So hopefully get that one reviewed maybe in 2 weeks. And then also looking to maybe do Top Gunner at some point, get some more Asylum, but also that was one that Ty and I covered on a previous podcast. So hopefully we'll get that up there as well. And then, for myself, in terms of other podcasts, I like I said, I recorded with John from After Movie Diner recently. So keep an eye out for that podcast. But really, there isn't much from me that's posted recently. I also, Ty, our guest on this episode here, again, for his like I said, we always have him. I guess he's more collaborator, right? We think of him as more of a collaborator than a guest. But he was recently on Todd Liebenau's Forgotten Filmcast, where they talked about Recoil. So definitely check that one out. I think I'm an episode behind. I think Todd released a more recent episode than that one, so it's like the second most recent episode. And listen to that most recent one too. That's another good one. But yeah, just giving a shout out there to Ty, who was on that Forgotten Filmcast episode with Todd Liebenau, who's also been a guest on the show before. That was a really fun one. Listening to them talk about Recoil, which again, we did that one relatively recently. Rich Haas, speaking of Rich Haas, is going to be on next month. It was our 150th episode where we went long. It was a good 4-hour episode, but we did get stuck in pretty well on Recoil and Rage in that episode. So gave them their due, I think. And so it's an interesting thing when you're looking at these movies because especially Rage and Recoil, where you've got Spiro Rosatos, who so much good in action now comes from Spiro Rosatos, and you just imagining where he started there with PM in the 90s. I mean, he was even before PM, right? He was doing stuff before PM, with the Maniac Cops and things like that. But we wouldn't have action. What we think of as blockbuster action wouldn't exist the way we understand it without Spiro Rosatos and the stuff that he did in that PM period there. So it's always kind of fun to talk about those movies. And Ty and Todd do a really great job on that as well. I guess that's everything here. We're closing in on 6 minutes, so a good long intro that we had there. So why don't we stop it here? We'll have John from After Movie Diner, Miscellaneous Plumbing Fixtures, playing our theme song, and then when we come back, Ty and I are going to start by talking about Ruthless. All right, we are back, and I'm joined once again by Ty from Comeuppance. Welcome back, Ty.
Hey, how's it going? I'm happy to be back talking these Dermots. Double feature.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. So, as people know, we've kind of been doing all kinds of different actors, double features of actors. And Dermot was one that we noticed he was in Section 8. He was a lot of fun there. He had a smaller role in the Get Back, but it was like, boy, he's doing a lot of these movies lately.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, maybe now he's doing like Junkers. It's like, wait a second, we can do a podcast now. Right. And then Ruthless came out to Hulu just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And like Lights Out was like basically yesterday.
Right, exactly.
I check these movies on IMDb. I save them and in my saved file there, and just Lights Out. Let me see how Lights Out doing. Not here yet. Oh, let me check again. Hey, it's on Hulu.
Right, yeah, exactly. Well, because that's the thing is that because we were originally going to do another movie called The Dirty South, but then when we saw Lights Out, Lights Out, obviously, it's Christian Sesma. It's the guy who directed Section 8. So, and it's got Grillo. You can fire up the Grillo as well.
Fire up that Grillo. You got your Mekhi Phifer. I can't really do 8 Mile song.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no movie until Mekhi. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And you got Jamie King as Glenn Close.
As Glenn Close, playing the part of Glenn Close. Yeah, so that'll be the second of the two we talk about. It's going to be an interesting one. And then the first one we talk about is Ruthless, which, like you were saying, we've been seeing Art Camacho. We follow him on Instagram, and he's been posting about this movie behind the scenes for a while. And he's even, now that it's out on Hulu, he's also been posting about it, which is kind of a big deal for him to get one of his movies on Hulu, because usually his are kind of like, what, Gangland and Half Past Dead 2. Like, if they get on Tubi, that's enough.
Sure, I'll take it. I think I mentioned this before. Maybe when I watched that Cat. Well, technically you can watch it, but you watch or listen to the Cat Williams podcast from Shay.
Yes.
And he was making fun of Cedric the Entertainer. He says his specials are not even on Netflix or Tubi. It's like, let me repeat that. It's not even on Netflix or Tubi. It's like how he said it was great. It's like, wow, burn on Cedric the Entertainer. It's like, when you say Tubi, I just think of that. It's like,
to be, because that's one of the things. That's like you were saying, like Cat Williams he's very underrated as someone who is a roaster or burner, but the delivery does like so much with his
Oh,
ability to burn
goodness.
people.
It's the delivery that just knocks people out. It's like, okay, you got me.
Right, exactly. So, yeah,
You got me
yeah,
good. But yeah,
yeah.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, well, yeah, no. Usually, Art Camacho's movies aren't even on Tubi,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, exactly. So,
I can't stop now. I was laughing the whole rest of the episode. No talking about Ruth
I,
lights out here.
I would do that one again. But yeah, I guess before we get into our movies here, we'll do our classic. Oh no, I should also mention too. We'll do our classic. What have you been watching segment? But also, we're gonna finish with a spotlight on a fight. This
Yeah.
month is going to be the Jean-Claude Van Damme fighting the woman in the penguin mascot suit in Sudden Death, which
Yep.
that was a good call on your part, because we hadn't thought of one for the
That's
episode.
true.
Yeah, and it's a perfect one. It's definitely up there as one of the best. So that'll be what we'll end the episode with.
And what's funny, it's like, well, what's a good fight? What's a good fight? I had to really quickly because I didn't really have much time. Like,
Right?
how about the sudden death fight? It's like,
Yeah,
or
and it was on
Resurrection of
you.
Van Damme. It's like,
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's perfect. Yeah, so
yeah, exactly. What's good about Van Damme now, because he's had lots of end fights that are usually pretty good. So that's what makes it easy to kind of pick out a fight.
Yeah, it is interesting. That's a good point, because when you compare him to like some of the other bigger names, he's had like kind of the most iconic, like you said, of those kind of like. We talk about Rothrock. We've seen her do. But yeah, and his big butt. Like Seagal, for example, he usually just kills the other person. Like there is usually no fight. But Van Damme, it's like a fight.
Yeah. In the beginning, he fought Tommy Lee Jones for like 1 second. It's like I think I had timed it like really like 4 or 5 seconds. And Tommy Jones is dead. Spoiler for Under Siege, but
Yeah.
people probably have seen that one.
Right.
He doesn't even fight Eric Bogosian in Under Siege too. That was a terrible death roll to Eric Bogosian in that one.
Yeah.
See him that interview with the Vampire Show?
No.
I guess he's kind of the Christian Slater character, but just older.
Right.
So, like very older. But it's like, so it's like, couldn't I get Christian Slater back? Wouldn't it be amazing? Like, I'm back to interview the vampires. It's like instead of wasting his time on Spiderwick Chronicles, worst show on TV, worst show on streaming.
Yeah,
Chronicles.
I've heard. So I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen commercials for it, and
Don't
yeah,
fall later, man. I did.
Yeah.
It's like wow. It's like all about like these dang teens talking about their dang Instagrams and being like, trying to be like popular on Instagram. It's like, oh, Instagram, all right. It's like, because my Instagram handle is Tight Action Rocks, but we'll talk about that later. But it's like it's all these dang teens, and they got Christian Slater like, I'm a demon and a troll, and I want your soul. It's like,
Right.
Well, okay. So yeah, what have you been watching first? I'll go second, I guess.
Yeah, so for me it's nothing crazy, but I've been catching up with I've been doing a rewatch of the John Wicks to get myself to the fourth one. So
Nice.
I did 1 and 2.
You did too.
I did, yeah. So I did 1 and 2. I've done 3 before. I did it way back. So I've got to do that one. Then I got to gear myself up. I've got a long train ride. So of course, as people are listening to this, the funny thing about this episode is that when this episode airs, I'm going to be going on another train trip up to New England. But when we're recording it a month out, I've got another train trip that I'm going to be doing. So I don't know what I'll be watching on that train trip when people listen to this episode, but I've got one coming up on this weekend, and so I'm gonna download. I think I'm gonna watch the John Wick 3 at least with that, and then see about how I'll fit number 4 in, because it's a 3-hour job. It's
That is true. They only get longer, especially the fourth one. And did you get to the part I mentioned to you in part 2? When
which
the Italian guy asked him for the marker, and then Keanu's not interested.
Right, yes.
He's wearing that white shirt. I watched it about a year ago, and so I kind of remember most of it. Action's pretty hot. When he just kills everyone in the museum.
Yes, that's so good. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I was talking about, because like it's amazing, like how, like, you've got Chad Stahelski as the director who did, he did stunts on Recoil, and then the stunt guy is Darren Prescott, who's like the stunt coordinator. He also did stunts on Recoil. It's almost like Spiro Rosatos was just like pumping out this army of great like stunt directors.
That's such an amazing point. So you get like these PM guys
Yeah.
in these newer movies. That's actually a great idea
Yeah.
because they know their stunts from the past.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
why the stunts are pretty hot. It's like someone else have besides John Wick shooting people, but he does it very well. It's
Right.
like,
Yes. Yeah, there's so many great things. I mean, the one thing I was talking about too that I really liked was the fact that there's the dog, right? And so many times in movies, dogs like do stuff, and I love the fact that you just have a dog that's just being a dog. Like he's like
yeah,
kind of just
yeah.
trotting next to him, and so he's not like like biting somebody or anything like that. He's just kind of trotting alongside, Keanu Reeves and just being a dog, which I think is fantastic.
And I don't remember what happens with the dog. I know he drops him off in the first one with the late great Lance Reddick.
Yeah.
But was that in the second one too? My memory of that is gone. But
Well, no, because remember he's actually that's a good question because I know he's even though he's excommunicado at
yes,
the Continental, I got the sense that the guy who worked behind the counter, Lance Reddick, I think he still liked him enough that he would maybe do him a solid like that. That's a good point. I don't remember, but I think you might be right.
what's funny about Lance Reddick in those movies, like he didn't have a name at first. Then they like made up a name, like Sharon or something. It's like
Right.
his name was not said in the first or second. I think even the third one.
Right.
Maybe the third one, but
Yeah, I
the
think
fourth
by the
one,
third one they were like, well, we got to give him a name, right?
it can't just be like hotel worker number 2. You need to have a name. He's doing stuff.
Because one of the things too, you'll notice if you watch the movie with the so the closed captions
Oh
on.
yeah, I use subtitles all the time.
Yeah, like one of the
Yeah.
things, like for example, um, in part two, I think it's uh, was it Ruby Rose? Is that the actress's
Yeah.
name? Yeah, her name is never said in the movie, so you only know her name if you watch it
Yes,
with
I've noticed that in movies. Like, oh, that's her name. Oh, okay.
right. Exactly. Yeah. So there's a case to be made, right? It's Ares, right? Ares, the god of war.
Aries.
That's right. That's her character. Yeah. So it's when it's like Ares says, right? Like if like for example, like
Yeah.
somebody's talking off screen, they want you to know that's her. That's the only time you get the name. Yeah. So there is a case to be made, I guess, for doing the closed captions for those movies.
It's because you got. I don't. Does it do the Lionsgate logo? I think it
It
does. Right?
does. Yeah,
Yes.
it does. Yeah. Which
Yeah, I love that. It's
one of the few logos that actually matters. I mean, we're talking about two movies today that I think total had like I mean, I think between the two movies together, there was like 6 or 7 logos, and it's like none of those
oh
logos
yeah.
matter, you know?
It should be called logoless. One of these days they'll listen to Ruthless. But
Right,
that'll never happen
exactly.
in these movies today. Like,
Right.
oh wait, so I'll go. What I've been watching.
Yeah.
Wait, something else. John Wick 2 I thought was cool. What was it? Oh well, the Hall of Mirrors.
Yes.
That was amazing. I don't know how they shot that about seeing the camera. And it goes, I'm back. It's just like, it's like, you wanted me back. I'm back. Get ready because he says a lot less than he's next to.
Right. Yeah, which
He's
is
gonna be like
amazing
Aries.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is amazing. Like when you get, I mean, so like I said, I haven't seen 4 yet, but I did see 3 because I felt like 3. It was like the story
Oh,
just
you did
keeps
watch
getting.
3. You did watch. You did rewatch 3. Okay, just preparing for your pod.
Yeah, I haven't seen 3. I haven't
Oh.
done the rewatch of 3 yet, but I
Oh,
saw it
okay. Oh,
a
you
year
watched it.
ago. Yeah. Yeah. So so it hasn't been that long. I mean, I remember enough, but definitely watching it again, when you're about to talk about it, it's always a good idea.
And then because all Ian McShane says is Jonathan. It's like, don't do that, Jonathan.
Right.
You get the way because he has a cool voice. There's a part in part 4 you're gonna laugh. I
Okay.
mean, I won't give it away. You're just gonna laugh because it's a long movie. So just keep that in mind when you see this scene. Like, you got to be kidding me. I know it's a long movie, but this must be a joke. It's just like,
All right. I'll keep an eye out for that.
you'll
Yeah.
get it's with Ian McShane, so I'll give you that clue.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Yeah. Somebody in the trivia made you know how you get the joke trivia, especially get it for Seagal movies, which is always
It's like,
fantastic.
yeah, he went to a donut shop called Duncan Stevens. Like, that's not true.
Right, exactly. Well, the funny thing is, I always joke about this. Like the best one was the Fast and the Furious, the first movie. Somebody put in the trivia that the director originally wanted Mark Paul Gosselaar, Mario Lopez, and Dustin Diamond for the different parts instead of
Okay, that's funny.
It's like there's this thing where it's like I know that's not true, but there feels like there's a 5% chance that it might have been true, and I want to hang on to that 5% chance, And so,
It would almost make sense, except for Screech. But I mean, like, if
right,
Mario Lopez
exactly.
could pull off a Vin Diesel, and Goslar has like kind of the coolish hair like Paul Walker,
Right,
I could
right.
totally kind of see it.
Yeah, well, because Dustin Diamond's character was the guy who is the guy who like is working on the engines. He's like, working on engines just
Oh,
calms me down. And then he like, he loses the race to Rick Yoon, and he's like, Dom, I screwed up, man. I'm sorry, Dom. Like that was supposed to be
and
Dustin Diamond, as they said in the
oh, okay,
trivia
actually
thing.
kind of makes sense now.
Yeah,
This could be Saved by the Bell, Saved by the, well, let's say Furious by the Bell, I guess.
right.
Because
Yeah, exactly.
Saved by the Fast doesn't really make much sense.
Right, exactly. Fast
Fast
by the
by the
Bell.
Bell,
Yeah.
yeah,
Furious by the Bell. Yeah, I don't know.
Furious by the Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta get that. We gotta get what's that? Al, the magic guy. Is that his name?
Oh, yes, I think so. Yeah.
I hear he's on that remake or reboot, which has Mark Knopfler.
Yeah.
I never watched it because I don't really have Peacock. But
Yeah, I've never thought to watch it because I remember it was being advertised. I was like, I should watch it, but I never got around to seeing it. I
I
probably,
never. Not that I don't care, but I just love the original so much.
yeah,
I get tainted.
yeah.
I bet it's not terrible.
No, but the original, like you said, the original, it just kind of has a feel to it that when you watch it, it's just, yeah, it just works. So yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, but one of the the fake trivia for John Wick was
Oh
that
yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
yeah, it was that Ian McShane thought he was doing a Lovejoy remake or a Lovejoy adaptation, and for 4 days thought he was playing the part of Lovejoy until somebody told him, that wasn't the case, and people believed it. There were people giving it like upvotes or whatever they call it on IMDb, that thumbs up, but it's like, no, he didn't think he was doing a Lovejoy. It's like, but there's still that part of it's like that 5% that wants to believe that he did think that he was on set doing a Lovejoy remake.
I mean, I've heard of Lovejoy. I never really watched it. Is that he just acts like Winston, or?
No, look, so Lovejoy is like it was on A&E in the 90s. Like it was like
Yeah,
before Rockford Files reruns.
Lovejoy?
Yeah. He's definitely much more offbeat. It's like, it's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. I mean, he's definitely your offbeat detective kind of character. That's really, what the idea is, with Lovejoy.
Fine. I mean, like, the thing is, I was mad at Ian McShane for a little while. It's like, wait, you're getting one note, sir.
Right, right.
And then I guess he's in a new movie that he's almost like John Wick. I don't remember the title, but it's like it's some new movie that's coming out soon. It's like, wait, you're John Wick now? It's like,
Right.
everyone's going to be John Wick now. Even Winston. Winston.
Right.
He should. I don't remember if he killed anyone in the third one. Did he? I don't remember.
That's a good question. I don't remember either.
I'm going to rewatch it. It's in my next kind of movie pile. I just have to first off remember to keep an eye. Oh yeah, Winston. So
Yeah.
Jonathan.
Exactly.
That's my best impression. Yeah.
That was the best. That was the best line. That's at the end of the second one, right? When he's like, Jonathan, Winston.
Yeah, Winston. Yeah, he's like, Jonathan, don't do that. I won't say what happens. People haven't seen John Wick 2.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. American Star. Oh, it's out now on AMC Plus, Prime Video channels.
Oh.
He's an assassin. That sounds familiar.
Right.
It's like, he's on a final assignment to kill a man he's never met. Wait, he must know. Like, hey, that he must know, right? He's like, wait, that's me. I'm John Wick now.
And the character's name is Wilson instead of Winston.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say the character's name was Wilson instead of Winston.
Yeah, I do have AMC Plus for some reason. Well, my friend has it. It's like, do you have AMC Plus? But so.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting rid of it because I watched VFW. That was the movie I was like keeping it for, and I just got the message from my credit card that I got hit again for the $10. So I was like, I should probably get
what, AMC Plus.
For AMC Plus, I was like, I should probably finally get rid of it. But yeah, you're right. Like you see these movies on here, and you're like, oh, let me just watch this one movie. It's like gonna be like another 3 months that it stays on there.
And that's the thing, that's why I try to write down my movies I want to watch.
Yeah.
Because then I see it in my notes. Oh, okay, time to watch American Star, which I might watch.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. I don't know. I saw the trailer for like a second. Like, this looks okay enough. I think he's like in the forest or wind shakes the barley or whatever it is.
Right. Right, exactly.
Something like that.
One of those titles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah. Right. But that's the way it looks like. It's like the poster. He has like a gun. It's like, this is funny now. Like, who's going to be the next John Wick? I know this is. Now it's just getting ridiculous. All right, so what I watched recently, I didn't really watch. I'm on a run of mediocrity. which I did watch American Renegades. It's a Luc Besson movie. It's like a war movie from the 1940s, and it goes to the 1990s. And a couple okay stunts. There's no one. J.K. Simmons is in it. He's like yelling at people. I guess he shot around the same time as what's the one that's that movie? People Whiplash.
Oh, right.
He yelled at Miles Teller for 2 hours.
Right, won an Oscar, I think. Did he?
Well, I kind of like that. I don't like Miles Teller, so I'm happy he yelled at him for 2 hours.
Yeah. Did he win an Oscar for that? I thought, I know he's got. I think he's got an Oscar, right? He won an Oscar. Yeah, I think that was it. That was the one he got an Oscar for yelling at Miles Teller.
So if we just yell at Miles Teller in 2 different separate movies, we can win Oscars.
Right, exactly.
I've seen the movie. It's okay. I mean, like, you have to like drumming.
Yeah.
So, hey, I wonder if Dolph watched it because he did all this drumming in Command Performance.
Right.
I like Whiplash. I'm gonna yell at Miles Teller too. Like, so that would be amazing if they switched.
Can you imagine if Dolph won an Oscar? Like, that would be the greatest thing ever.
That would be great. I like to thank Matt Poirier and Tyler. He loved our movies. And I have one thing to say. Dying is easy. Rock and roll is hard.
Everybody cheers and claps and he goes a commercial at the Oscars. That would be, oh, bad.
Oh, my goodness. And then there'll be a cutaway shot to, great, now I forgot his name, the interviewer. Quest. Richard Quest.
Richard Quest, yeah.
And probably wants an Oscar for Skin Trade 2. Skin Trade Year. It's just like...
But that's the movie. It's just him drumming and yelling at Miles Teller. It's Skin Trade 2, Skin Trade Year.
Or just kidding Simmons, that's probably people call him. But it's just like... So it's like, this is getting ridiculous. Yeah, so American Renegades, I'd say skip it. I looked it up, it cost $75 million and doesn't really show up on the screen. Someone pocketed that money. So just like, supposedly, I guess, maybe. Also, it's PG-13. If I was, it's boring. All the Renegades are like, they're underwater. It's like they're underwater looking for some gold. It's like, remember that video where it's like, I want the gold. Remember, it was like the leprechaun. Do you remember? It was like 2005, 2006.
Oh, I think you're right. Yes,
like,
I think
the gold. I want the gold. It was like a rap song. It's like, it was a story, and then some guy turned it into a rap song. It's very funny. If you want to take it, I looked it up on St. Patrick's Day again.
Right. So. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was reading about American Renegades. Apparently, J.K. Simmons is the only American actor in the movie, despite the fact that it's American Renegades.
Yeah, I know. I think it's just called Renegades. It's a disappointment because it doesn't really have what you want.
Yeah.
It's all done in a PG-13 safe manner.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really care. It doesn't really have all the... Why are they underwater? I don't care about you looking for gold.
Right.
You got people like warlords or people like that. Shoot some warlords. It's like there's only usually just one warlord. But it's like... It's not like many warlords in one movie. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, it's one big guy, and then everybody else drives around in like these jeeps with no tops on them, right? And
I can see. And then Chuck Norris blows him up with his rocket launchers and his motorcycle.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Robert Forster blows up in his. That's amazing that he played that. And then he just played some like Middle Eastern dictator.
Yeah, with his Buffalo accent,
Yeah. I'm not. Oh no, I love Robert. He's like my favorite actor.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah,
it looks so easy.
Yeah, he really is. Like, I don't know. I mean, of course, a lot of times he wasn't in the movies a lot that we liked, but there's very few movies that were at least better for having him in them, I think.
Oh, it's like, hey, look who's here. It's Robert Forster in American Yakuza.
Right, exactly.
No, I hear Viggo Mortensen's a pretty cool guy. Someone should ask him about American Yakuza, just for fun. Like, but I haven't seen him lately, the Viggo stir.
Yeah.
I haven't checked in. He's not doing the movies I want him to do. I don't think he's going to be doing straight to video. I hope he does.
I think he's like, you know what? I've made my money with those Lord of the Rings movies. I'm just going to write poetry or something like that. Live in Argentina or something, and with wear a lot of sweaters and stuff. And
that reminds me. We should get to our movies, but one more thing about poetry. Do you remember? I think Michael Madsen. He has a poetry book.
Does he? Oh, that sounds amazing. Is it on Amazon?
That'd be great. Oh, I love to get an audiobook version.
Yes.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I didn't like making executive target, and so will you. It's like, it's like so,
Yes, The Complete Poetic Works of Michael Madsen, Volume 1.
volume one.
Came out in 2005. It's 10 years of poetry from 95 to
Wow.
2005. Yeah, it's available on Amazon.
Any sample?
Geez, it's $150 used.
Ew.
Yeah, that's a little bit much.
I need to ask Michael Madsen for a loan to get that. It's like,
He has another book called Burning in Paradise that's
yeah, that's
only
what I've heard of. I heard of that one.
that's $4.99.
That's fair.
Actually no. Wait, why is it says $4.99 one place and this is $58.
Where are you on Amazon or where are
Yeah,
you?
I'm on Amazon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? Oh,
Is there any
paperback for
rights
$4.99. Okay, paperback for $4.99. Yeah, okay. It does look like there is a used version. I don't know why there's $60 is one of the listings here, but yeah, so it's a little bit better. $4 or $5 is a little bit better than $150 for a Michael Madsen book.
Is there anything like an example of his poetry like on this page or just
Oh, I don't know. No, it doesn't. But it has a foreword by Dennis Hopper.
I've heard about that. Hey man, you gotta read this poetry, man. It's like King Koopa, man.
I mean, pretty much all Amazon wants me to do is read other poetry books. That's essentially what they're saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else that stands out like Michael Madsen? Like, I don't know, let me think, Dolph Lundgren poetry.
Right.
I would just do the same joke again about roses are red, violets are blue, but just like roses are red, violets are blue. I come in peace, you go in pieces.
Right.
If you want to do some any your impression poetry, go right ahead. But
it would be great too. I'm looking at the reviews, and some of them are really good. Some of them are iffy. But it would be great if you read some of the reviews too. Like here's one that's a critique of the critics, man. It's all laughable. These Pullmans are like the most negative comments. Hide behind a reader, i.e., the 5th grade teacher. They don't want to risk rekindling memory of that's mentioned in another review.
I think you might have something with impression poetry, like
Yeah. Let me see if his poetry, the other book, has it, because it doesn't look like they have previews. That's the thing, right? You got to get the preview. So like if you get the preview, you can open up like the Oh wait, what is this? That doesn't look like it does. It doesn't look like they have a. No, you know why the book is so expensive? It's signed by him.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's $150. It's signed. They have the picture of his signature. Yeah. So here's what one of the reviews says. You don't expect a man best known for cutting off a cop's ear to be an accomplished poet. But Michael Madsen doesn't initially seem the type of guy to pick up a pen and ponder his innermost feelings. But much like the screen persona, his writing voice is witty, tough, and oddly affecting. His writing, like his acting, is never boring and quite memorable. Well, there we go. That sounds nice.
And here's this one. I'm looking on Amazon too, from Mr. B 1020. Do you ever see that movie Donnie Brasco? You look closely, you'll see him in this book. There are exactly 0 poems in Donnie Brasco. I liked it better than Donnie Darko. I give this 5 stars.
That's awesome.
Like, did you mean Donnie Brasco again, or did you mean it's like that? That's
right. Yeah, I mean, who would thunk? I mean, yeah. So there's now every time I go to a used bookstore, I know what I'm going to be looking for. Is this Michael Madsen poetry book? I've got to get my hands on this.
Maybe it could be where can I find my? Oh well, it's not gonna be at Barnes and Noble or I was going to say Walden Books and Borders, but Borders is bordered up. So.
Right, exactly. Yes. Yeah. We have a couple used bookstores here in Philadelphia that one of them is really big called Book Trader. And I have a hunch it could potentially be there. I'd probably be sifting through a lot of poetry books, but it's 464 pages. So it's a hefty, it's a big fella.
It'd be fun, Madsen, Michael. You can find it.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be awesome.
We're trying to go to our movies.
Yeah. Well, so our first of the 2 movies, we are without Ruth here. We are ruthless. There's not a bit of Ruth to be found in this first movie here.
I have many issues with this one, but you want to run down the plot.
Yes. Yes. So Ruthless has Dermot Mulroney as Harry. He plays a guy who's 4 years younger than himself in real life, or 3 years younger. So he's born in '63, but in the character's born in '66. We know that because he brings up his age constantly, and later on in the film we'll kind of make a joke about it. But anyway,
Yeah.
Harry is a high school wrestling coach who seems to make a lot of money as a high school wrestling coach, but that's neither here nor there. He has a young lady in his wrestling thing. Before that, of course, his daughter is killed. As it turns out, her daughter was on a date with a sadistic killer. He kills her, excuse me, kills her in the date, and so he's kind of getting over that. And here's Katya, the young lady.
Katya Madsen.
Katya Madsen. That's a guy. Maybe that's why he named it. Maybe that's where the name came from. Maybe that's where Art came up with the name. But yeah. So Katya, she's not very good at wrestling. Dermot Mulroney gives her a hard time about not being good at wrestling, and then she goes home, and it turns out that she's in an abusive situation. Her mother's boyfriend that they're living with, he hits her, and so she says she's going to run away. She's kind of sitting on a bus station. Mulroney finds her after doing his workouts with Texas Battle. So we got Texas Battle back. Yeah, that was a familiar face. It was nice to see. But after he finds out that the dad or the boyfriend has been beating her, Dermot pays a visit to the dad, breaks his arms, and we find out that this is kind of what Dermot Mulroney does. He just breaks people's limbs.
He just breaks people's fingers and arms, and I called him fake Arquette, the abusive dad.
Right.
Fake David Arquette. Sorry, I mean.
Yes.
And it's just because he just looked like an older. I think that's what David Arquette looks like now, basically. But
right. Yeah. He's very Mulroney's very grizzled in this, which I guess if you lose a child, you might be grizzled.
Well, we want to run on the plot some more, and then I'll get into my notes. Yeah, go ahead, and then I'll go into my.
So this bad boyfriend, the mother's boyfriend, decides to sell Katya for $10,000 to some really weird trafficking thing in LA that has this really fancy. It's run by Jeff Fahey, and it's this extremely fancy auction thing that uses TV screens and logins and
it was really
bidding
weird.
and stuff.
It looked like it was virtual reality, but not really. That's another what.
Right, and so then we have our so the police detective that was helping Mulroney with the situation with his daughter dying. He's a poor man's Don the Dragon Wilson. He tells Mulroney hey, don't go after these people, don't do this stuff. We'll take care of it. We're the police. We'll handle it. No, Mulroney goes on the warpath up to Vegas, and he starts breaking more bones, breaking more limbs, and finally finds Katya and saves the day. And yeah, that's I guess that's it, right?
Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, okay, here I go.
All right.
Okay, so the beginning was really good. He beats up that almost unnecessary, but he beats up that movie theater dude.
That's right. Yeah.
It's okay, this is ooh, this is good. Mike and that movie. Oh, I like it. Wow, what a steady decline. Because first off, because his daughter dies, that's not set up very well. He goes to court, that's not very set up very well. And then what's his name? Oh, Johnny McCoy. That was the evil boyfriend. It's he looked evil the whole time. Well, maybe he'll come back. And then Dirt becomes unlikable, and that's a huge problem with this movie. He hates Katya Madsen. He thinks he's a horrible person.
Right.
You suck, and it's you're a terrible wrestler. I hate you.
Right. Do track. You should do track. That's my advice to you. Is do track.
You can always do track. You do track. How about doing some track? He still said it after he picked her up at the bus stop. You can still do track.
Right. Yeah.
That's a huge problem with this movie. And then the pacing was,
yeah,
it takes forever.
Yeah.
For him to do anything to fake Arquette. It takes forever for him to go to Las Vegas. It takes, and then he meets up with Jeff Fahey, Wellington. Right. He was good though. I like Fahey in it.
Yeah, he was good for the little bit that we got of him. He was good. Yeah.
But then he becomes silly.
Right.
And it's no. And then also, I do like his screen name when he's finding Katya on the screen. Headlock 66.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, and why did we need that detail?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like these people with the whole trafficking thing, they come up with these elaborate things for trafficking. Like this whole idea of like who is this like Jeff Fahey guy who's like what is he doing? He's hiring a computer programmer
Well, yeah,
and
yeah. Let's
right
talk
to,
about
to
that.
like to develop this whole software thing that you need to create a login and a password to be able to like who is doing this? Nobody's doing this. Like what are you doing? And we get like this huge big thing of like somebody is like outbidding him for
Yeah,
Katya,
that was so dumb.
and it's
Yeah,
like
like
he
I
tried
lost Claudia. Oh, my car's on fire, or whatever. My car's
right
like,
right
oh,
like they try to say that the guy's getting towed. Excuse me. So sorry about that. I coughed there right in the microphone.
I didn't even hear that actually.
Oh, okay, good. All right. But so Katya, so they get the one guy who was outbidding him for Katya. They get him out of the way, only to have somebody else outbid him. Well, why were we wasting our time trying to get the one guy out of the way if he's just going to lose the auction anyway? Like, why are you wasting our time with this? Why not just have him show up in a pickup truck or whatever he's driving and do more wrestling holds and breaking people's bones and stuff?
And that's another problem with this movie. He doesn't kill any of these traffickers.
No,
I know it's probably a spoiler, but he's not being very ruthless here. It's like
no.
that's the
There's a
thing.
lot of Ruth in what he's doing. There's
It's
a lot of Ruth in his approach for sure.
that is the nail on the coffin of this movie because he's not killing these people, and every time he beats up, they're all stupid. Every other character is really stupid. It's like
Yeah.
I have it here. Yeah, poor dialogue all around.
Yeah.
And then they say, "Well, I gotta get that commish." It's like you're getting Michael Chiklis to come to your or commission, I guess. It's like
Well, and I don't think it's a spoiler for me to say this. I don't think anything that we talk about this is going to be a spoiler. But one of the things we find out is that actually, his daughter wasn't killed by Johnny because Johnny was just like a sadistic killer who was hooking up with her.
yes.
Oh no, Johnny worked for the traffickers, and he was going to try to traffic her, and then some other guy who was like between Fahey and this Johnny guy he killed the daughter, and it's like, why did we need any of that? Why couldn't the
Exactly.
daughter have just been killed by like she's more like this whole trafficking thing is so absurd anyway because it's like the odds of there are no like trafficking rings that are just grabbing like these middle class white girls off the street and putting them in fancy auctions that are like that like eBay auctions or something like that. It's more like a kind of a dark web thing where it's like somebody who's knows some like a family member and it's like it would have made so much more sense if it was just like she's more likely to be killed by a guy she's on a date with than some elaborate like cockamamie trafficking thing that's like so pie in the sky. And then it would have been better if they just kept with that.
Well, that's the thing, and we all love Taken, but what has Taken wrought on this one because it's like, and you goofed up. This movie goofed up because
Right.
it's like it's all you have to do is Dermot kills people.
Yes.
That's all, and they didn't even do that.
Yeah.
No.
Well, and it would have been a lot simpler if they had just said, and Fahey still could have been a badass, right? Like, let's say, so, like, what they could have done is, so the where they get it right is the sense that, like, the stepfather or the boyfriend or whatever, he's the one who sells her off, right? Well, it would have made a lot more sense if instead of like doing it the way they did it, where there's a truck that picks her up at school and everybody's tracking the truck and they have all this, it would have been a lot better if one day the mom comes home and there's the boyfriend there and he goes, where's the daughter? Where's Katya? Oh, she ran away again. Oh, she did? Oh, okay. So, because you're not going to call the cops if she runs away again, right? You're just going to wait for her to come home. And then Dermot's finding out what's going on. Well, what do you mean she ran away? But has she ever run away for this long before? I guess I don't know. And while meanwhile, maybe Jeff Fahey's got like some dingy motel and like he's like finding bidders on the dark web to sell her with, and that's where maybe Dermot like pretends to be a buyer on the dark web. He figures it,
that would work.
Yeah, it would have made more sense. It would have worked better.
And also, how about this for a twist? How about he likes Katya as a wrestler because his daughter died. Now he wants like a daughter figure.
Yes.
He's likable. He's nice to her. She's a better wrestler. And, oh no, she's kidnapped by these traffickers. Time for action.
Yes.
That's so easy.
Yeah.
Why would you be a jerk ass the whole time of the movie?
Right.
Dermot's a freaking jerk ass in this movie. And it's like that's
exactly.
a problem.
Yes. Yeah. There's no reason. You're right. All you had to do is be nice to Katya from the beginning.
Yes.
And that would have made a huge difference in this movie.
Then you actually would have cared about what happened to the Katya star. It's like But I will say this: he did tell when he broke fake David Arquette's arm like 400 times. That's binding agreement. Okay, I enjoyed that.
Yes, it was
Like,
fun.
yeah, and I was like, oh, you had to wait for 55 minutes for old Jeff Fahey as evil Dale. Oh, Dale Remington. I wrote that down.
Dale Remington, yeah, which is a
Dale,
great name. I mean, great outfits, great long
yeah,
hair and
it's like,
beards.
yeah, he looks
You know,
cool. He still got it.
yeah,
He's got the voice still. That's a huge help. Jeff Fahey's voice because he sounds
yes,
evil. Like, let's see what else. Oh yeah, so the digital auction. I want to mention this. It looked like Nick Arcade.
yes, yes.
We're still more. That's a post to that. It's like, wouldn't it be great? It's like he's looking around like the Nick Arcade players. It's like, where am I going? Am I going to the fake Mario game or what? What am I doing? Doing the fake auction or what? Where am I?
I
No,
was
that
trying to think what that reminded me of.
yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Is
Nick
that it?
Arcade.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's else I have here? Okay, so Dermot. I thought he sounded like Matt Dillon, which I also think Matt Dillon. Matt Dillon's also a disappointment in the action genre, but that's just my own issue there. Oh yeah. Let's see if I liked anything about this. No. Let's see. So it's like it's a disappointing movie. You have all the ingredients
Yeah.
for a good Taken kind of knockoff action. Or you got Camacho, you got Dermot,
Yeah.
you got Texas Battle. What happened? I mean, like it's all written poorly. And
Well,
like
because
the
Texas
mom,
Battle's wasted. Like, what are we doing with Texas Battle? He's training him, and then like we think he's selling drugs out of the back of the gym, and you find out that no, he's selling like a security equipment. Did Dermot Mulroney even use any of that security equipment that he bought off Texas Battle like later in the film?
it's written so poorly. Like, why don't you just use some of that? Also,
Yeah.
be likable. Be freaking likable, Dermot.
Yes. Like what we needed was we needed him in battle, right?
Yeah.
Driving
Battling.
off in the SUV or something, just going
Yeah.
from like seedy location to seedy location, beating
Yes.
the crap out of people. And you're right, we needed some kills. We needed a few neck breaks. We needed a
Yes.
few gunshot. We needed a few bullets in between the eyes. We needed like Fahey when he fights Fahey, right? He just breaks some bones and throws them in his trunk. No. When that pool cue breaks in half, we need that pool cue to go impale somebody.
Impale him, or how about you just break over his neck? I know.
Yes.
I hope people don't think I'm like a sadistic monster when I think of these kills. It's just like,
But that's what makes an action movie good. There's a reason why, YouTube has kill count videos of great
yes,
action. I mean, what was John Wick? We're talking about John Wick, which is like
yeah.
one of the greatest action movies of the 2010s. And it has like what, 77 kills in it? I think Wick kills like 77 people.
One?
The first one. I think the first one.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What if he just didn't kill anyone? He just like punched him out. It's like,
Right,
no.
right. Like would we be talking? Okay, yeah. So let's take that scene and let's take the museum scene for example,
Yes.
right, where you were just talking about, which was a fantastic scene.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if the museum scene or even like the club scene in the first movie, right, the circle club in the first, if all he's doing is just breaking people's arms, like just walking around breaking arm, break a finger, break an arm, instead of just being like pew 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 pew, just like like I mean, it's so much better the way that it is in John Wick.
Exactly. And if they want to make a John Wick Taken knockoff of Dermot Mulroney, go right ahead. But it just they didn't do it right.
Right. And this is R-rated too. That's the other thing. This is listed as an R-rated movie. So if this is an R-rated movie, what are you holding back on?
That's it held back for some reason. Like that's what makes it all the more. It's the most disappointing movie of the year.
Yeah, because you're right. When you call a movie Ruthless, you want a good body count. This is a killing spree.
Exactly, and this is why I wrote this in my last note, which is if it was like The Mercenary, and it's directed by Jesse Johnson.
Yeah,
there you go. The Mercenary delivered the freaking goods.
Yes,
Vandenberg. And it's like that's what it should have been.
Yeah, I mean Vandenberg. I think that's the thing, right? Is that he is just so amazing. And then, like you said, in Mercenary. But you're right. Jesse V. Johnson is not like, just go break a bunch, just go break Louis Mandalore's arms or whoever else is, It's like, no, get a long gun and just start walking through this like deserted Argentine town or wherever it is and just start blowing people away.
And they did, and it was awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
I want a yes moment. Now, that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It had a mildly yes moment in the beginning when he beat up that guy. Almost unnecessary. But I still liked it. But it's like, well, because there were no yes moments.
That's the set, right? That first scene, and to give people an idea of what happens in this first scene, Mulroney's by himself at the movie theater. He's watching a classic film. I think it was they mentioned it here. McClintock, I guess maybe. Oh no, that's sorry. No, that wasn't it. No, that wasn't. Sorry, that was another scene in the movie. The Stranger. Orson Welles is The Stranger. That's what he was watching. So he's sitting there watching The Stranger, and there's a guy with on a date. They're like two. I don't know if they're teenagers or 20 somethings, but he's getting really aggressive with the girl. And Mulroney's like, "Hey, she said no," and he starts like throwing his popcorn out or whatever. So he leaves the theater and he gets confronted by this guy with a knife. The guy's got a knife and he starts like he's wielding it too, like very like expert knife, which is like exactly what you want from a movie like this. Is somebody who like what was it, Honor and Glory, right? Where Rothrock's sister, right, is it's like she's like a reporter or something, and some woman just shows up with a knife and starts attacking her, right? Like that's what you want.
This is all right. This is like, hey,
we're getting somewhere. And then you're right. We first off we lose all of that energy for a huge chunk of the movie, but then we don't ramp it up. Like he doesn't go another level on it. It's not like it's always just that same first scene energy. And I think you've got to keep building it.
Yeah, and that would have been better. And as I say about Michael Douglas, just smile or just be a bit more likable, Dermot. All you have to do. Yes, you can be a badass. Go right ahead.
Yeah. Well, because they wanted a tough love element there. And I think the better thing instead of a tough love element is, like you said, if he sees his daughter in Katya and he says, okay, you know what? I'm going to work with you after school to like show you how to do more of this stuff. Instead of being like, you should just go run track. If he's like, listen, I'm gonna show you how to, I'm gonna show you some things, extra, and maybe that's like the whole thing. Maybe that's the tension, right? She gets home later because she's doing that stuff or whatever, who knows? But like you said,
people like, okay, then about, and maybe she learns a couple moves for the evil stepfather, and then she gets kidnapped. It's like, it was really easy to fix. It's like,
it's it would have been great if she broke the stepfather's arms, right? Like that would have been kind of a fun scene, right? Nice and then like Dermot shows up and he's like, "But she broke," but it would be even better, right? Is if she breaks the stepfather's arms using the moves that Dermot taught her, and the police show up and they're like, "Hey, what are you teaching this girl?" And he's like, "I'm just teaching her how to wrestle." But if her and then like you said, like he's so mad, he's just like, okay, I'm gonna sell her off to Jeff Fahey, and Fahey's like got her, like, and Jeff Fahey could be like a biker, right? Like he could be like really, like, I mean, he's got the beard and the hair for it, just throwing a leather jacket with like some kind of biker gang like emblem on the back, and he's like, yeah, man, he's like, he's on the dark web, and he's like, yeah, I got all kinds of guys up from all up and down I-5 that want to do this chick or whatever,
Yeah, that'd be like cool. I'd be like, or as they call them, the Hex Angels, because you can't mention her. Chuck Zito will beat you up.
Right, exactly. It's like, so it's a random group, and Mulroney finds out because like maybe he talks to the detective. The detective's like, yeah, usually these girls, they hook up, they get, they use the dark web to find find Johns, and that's
and so he'd be like, oh, the evil dark web.
Would you have a library scene where he goes and reads books about the dark web? So he learns about the dark web.
Book, not the computer.
Right.
It's a librarian. It's like somehow it's play. Let's say I don't know, Branscombe Richmond. You can play the librarian.
Yes.
How can I need to learn about the dark web. Like, sir, you might have to leave.
Yes.
But yeah, so it's to say that she beats up the fake David Arquette.
Yeah.
And then Dermot comes in. I guess he got pinned down or something like that. You can say something like that.
Right.
He just got pinned.
Yeah.
So it's like something like that. Maybe some more fun one lines besides the binding agreement. It's like what's so close.
Yeah, and then it's just him and Mulroney. I was gonna say just Mulroney in Texas Battle, just like just killing a bunch of bikers and saving the day and rescuing the girl. Like that's all you need. I think that gets you to the church on time. And this is just it's like like you said, it's all over the place. The pacing is all over the place as well. It's and like you said, Mulroney is not he should have been likable. There's no reason to not make Dermot, considering how much fun he was in Section 8. And I think he's in the next movie we're going to talk about. I think he's fun enough in that one
he's fun enough in this one. Yeah, in the next one. Yeah.
It's not hard to make Mulroney fun. So I think maybe part of the reason why Mulroney took the role is that he wanted to be not fun. But it's like no. You gotta go stay in your lane, I think, sometimes.
Because that's the thing, if you look at Copycat, he's fun in that way. He's smiling, he's like taking out like an Egg McMuffin out of his pocket. It's like you remember that part. That was weird. And then I don't know if I don't want I mean, I was gonna spoil Copycat. I guess people should probably.
I think you can. It's like 30 years old. I think you can spoil it. I think it's all right.
So he gets killed by like some random dude. It's like, it's like, why? It's like his whole character could have been just kind of deleted, but that's part of the fun of Copycat. Like, why?
I think that's Mulroney's career, because I was looking at his roles, and I mean, he has some big stars. I always like My Best Friend's Wedding. He's a small part in Young Guns. There's a movie called The Family Stone that has like Craig T. Nelson.
Comedy. Yeah, like he made the wrong choice. He should have made an action movie like 1990, like 8 or 9, right. Maybe around My Best Friend's Wedding, or maybe like 93, like something like that.
Yeah. He would have been 30 at that time. It would have been perfect. Like he needed like he needed like a Last Boy Scout kind of movie.
Yeah, like Boy Scout. He would play like a Bruce Willis type role. He'd be like a detective. He'd get beat up, kill a couple people, maybe kill like who's it? Nicole. What's the guy's name from Walker Texas Ranger? Just kill that guy.
Oh right. With Clarence Gilliard?
Oh no, the chief. Oh, I should watch Walker Texas. You've seen this guy before.
Oh, I think the police chief. You mean on the show, or his boss or whatever.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, Noble Willingham, is that the one? Is that
what? Say it again.
Noble Willingham, is that?
Yeah.
Yes.
He doesn't kill Noble Willingham again, and then you got yourself a movie. It's just like he's like that evil Texas guy. Hey man, I need my money for my sports betting, Bruce Willis. And it's like that movie. It could have been like that.
Oh, so Noble Willingham, was he the senator that was beating the woman and Willis?
That was a different character, but he was like the boss of that guy or something.
Right. Okay, that's right. Yeah.
I watched it a year ago, and here's like most people like that movie once you kind of get into the spirit. Last Boy Scout. Okay, this is funny. It's like maybe one of Bruce Willis' best movies. I think it's even better than Die Hard. I know that's a hard thing to say to people, but I think it is.
No, I agree with you. I saw it in the theater. My friends and I saw it, Yeah. It's there's Noble. I mean, the late Taylor Negron was also What a fun movie that was. It's not on any of the streamers, unfortunately.
Really,
but
I thought it'd be on like something.
You could rent it. Yeah, you can rent it on Prime. That's it. But
people should buy it. What a great movie. We're lucky to have that one. So
yeah.
We're very lucky. Ruthless. I want to wrap it up.
Exactly. Yes, we gotta...
No, it's just disappointing. It's just crushingly disappointing. That's all.
Now, you hit the nail on the head. The fact that it is you nailed it. It's the fact that it's a movie called Ruthless that has a lot of Ruth in it. It's not very ruthless.
Well, you're telling me about that. Your friend thought of that too, right?
So, my friend, So my friend in college, he went on this kind of thing. He's like, you ever notice that there's the word ruthless, but you can't have Ruth. You can't just be without Ruth. Like, what is? How can you be ruthless when you can't be with Ruth, or you can't have Ruth? And I was like, that's a really great point. Yeah, what is Ruth? Like, what does it mean to be Ruth or have Ruth? And so with this movie, it was kind of a joke to be like, we're gonna be without Ruth in this movie.
Very limited.
There's a lot of Ruth. There's a lot of Ruth here. It's one of those things. Like I know Mitch from Video Vacuum would talk about like those Emmanuel movies that Cinema Epic makes that are like 75, 80 minutes long, and there's no nudity in them.
Our ones?
No, they're like new ones. They're like new Emmanuel ones.
New ones?
Yeah, they're new ones, and they're
new ones.
They're like trading on the name Emmanuel, and there's no nudity in them. And so he's like, what is this Emmanuel movie where there's no nudity? This is ridiculous. It's kind of the same thing when you have a movie called Ruthless and nobody gets killed.
Yeah, you can kill anybody.
Yeah, no.
What the heck?
Yes. Yeah. There's a lot of potential in this movie. I think there's too much, like you said, with the whole like Taken human trafficking thing, where they just need to make it this big, bold, crazy thing that's just so outlandish.
Well, that's the thing. Well, Taken's a fantastic movie. I mean, like, it moves. I mean, like, boom, he's right there in France, wherever he went, right?
Yeah.
It's like I needed the plane yesterday. It's like everybody tells Stewart, I needed to be there yesterday. It's like,
right.
Stewart, shut up, Stewart. Keep that guy.
But you're right. That's the thing. It's almost kind of like Taken is almost like the new Pulp Fiction, right? Where
okay, yeah, I like this idea.
Yeah, because you think of like Pulp Fiction, and you think about the '90s, right? When it came to like you were just talking about today with Whacked, which was one that I completely forgot that I had seen.
Wow, that was good.
Yeah, but it's like this idea of like post Pulp Fiction for like I don't know, like maybe like 10 years between like the
Yeah,
mid '90s and the mid
good guess. Yeah.
2000s. Yeah, it's just all these talky assassins. Just I mean, what was the one? There was the one that with Gary Daniels where like the assassins were talking about Fruity Pebbles or something. And
Wait, you watch Ultimate Target?
is that what it was? Ultimate Target. That's the one.
You
Yeah,
saw that too? It's not good.
yeah. No, it's like no, no. It's
Like
like,
Michael Madsen as Uncle.
that's right.
I,
That's right.
I
Yeah, and it's like,
it's
what are we doing?
watch.
Yeah. But I think Taken has done the same thing where it's just like all of these action movies are just like biting off of Taken. And I
Yeah,
get it on some levels because it's easy in the sense that like you don't have to really do a lot of development of the baddies, right? Because it's like human trafficking is horrible, and so
right.
but
You
when you
get
think of,
some
like
like
Dolph with Skin Trade, which is also a movie
yeah,
that involves trafficking, it's done so much better on so many different levels than this was.
the Ruthless, sure. It's just like you know because it has more going on. See, it takes forever for something to go on, and when it
Right?
happens, nothing happens. It's like no.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Skin, you got your Dolph Lundgren and your Tony Jaa. I
Right.
like Tony.
Right.
Oh yeah, for Tony Jaa, I like him. So it's like
Yes. Well, we got Michael J. White, we got
yeah,
Peter
yeah,
Weller, we got
Pete
Bruce
Weller,
Ron Perlman. Yeah, I mean, so but
megaphone. It's like,
right, right, exactly. But like even this, it didn't need all those names. I think, like you said, if he just killed people. So two things I think would have changed. I mean, I don't know how much it would. It may have been just kind of an unremarkable fun time killer. But you're right. If Mulroney is nice and likable, and if he killed people to like warrant the name Ruthless, I think those two things would have done a lot to kind of elevate this movie.
exactly. So it's like that's unfortunately that's we have a dud in our hands.
We do.
So hate to say
Yeah.
that. I mean, it'd be nice, but I mean, it's like it's just not good.
Yeah, that's a shame. It's too many
Yeah,
bad decisions. Yeah,
shameless,
yeah,
ruthless. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. Well,
And
anything else on Ruthless? Anything else in your notes
no,
before we take a
I
break?
gave you all my notes. So
Yeah, and I don't have anything else either. So what we'll do,
I got
we'll take
nothing
a
to
break
say.
here.
I don't recommend it. It's like
No, it's a
you don't
shame.
recommend
It's a
it.
shame because I think when we say we don't recommend this, it's not because we want to just dump on this thing. Like we wanted this
No,
to
I
be
don't
good.
want
We were
to.
anticipating this.
I was waiting like a year or 2 years. Like, oh, and the posters go like one by one. He'll X them out.
Right.
And it's like, oh,
Yes.
nice.
Right.
Like,
It just seemed like it was going to be so good, and it so wasn't, and
yeah,
it's a shame.
oh, I
Yeah.
know. That's my most disappointing movie of the year. And
Yeah.
will not, I don't think it'd be tops of disappointment.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
hopefully he'll do it. Maybe he'll do it again. Maybe Dermot will make another one of these kind of
yeah.
action or take. Or
Yeah.
it'll be better.
Yeah.
So it'll
Maybe
be
they
positive.
they do a do over, right? When you're playing basketball as
Okay,
a kid,
anyway,
right? And it's like, give me a do over.
or
Let me shoot it again. Yeah.
you may give me on the mini golf, because I'm
Right.
like,
Exactly. Let me have another
oh,
step at it. Yeah.
or what? Yeah, let me do it again. It's like,
Right.
hey,
Right.
now I got a hole
Exactly.
breathe
Yeah.
the sand in the water hole on for this one. Unfortunately, could have been a hole in one.
That's
It
right,
was not.
exactly. No. So yeah, we'll say yeah. If Art Camacho and Mulroney, if they want to redo this movie, that I see here the cops are coming for me right now. But if they want to redo this one and make it, we will let them
That would,
pick up their ball out of the sand trap and put it on the fairway if if they think they can, we'll give them another chance. Yeah.
yeah, okay. I'll stay positive and end it like that.
Exactly. Perfect. Well, what we'll do here, we'll take a break, and when we come back, we will be looking at Lights Out.
Right, with the Mekhi Phifer.
Exactly. All right. There we go. It's the early 90s in LA. The war on drugs is raging, and Detective John Bainbridge is the LAPD's secret weapon against crime. Former special forces in Nam, he's a cop on the edge. When he and his partner Geary uncover a potential human trafficking ring, it doesn't take long before John Bainbridge realizes this thing goes all the way to the top, which doesn't scare him. That just means they'll fall that much harder when he takes them down. Part send-up and part love letter to early 90s action films, Bainbridge will take you back to the golden days of Canon, PM Entertainment, and AIP. You can get it in paperback or on Kindle and Kindle Unlimited from Amazon. Follow the link in the podcast description. My newest novel, Don's House in the Mountains, is available now. It follows Don Veazey, who after 20 years has finally made it as a writer, going from an AP English teacher to richer and more famous than he ever could have imagined. In the process, his wife Lois, feeling alienated and resentful of her husband's success, has filed for divorce, forcing Don to move to a house in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. With time alone to reflect, he's able to see how his new wealth and fame has affected his life in ways he never expected. Maybe the biggest of these is his new house, which is bigger and nicer than anything he's ever had in his entire life, but the longer he lives there, the more he gets the sense that it might have magical powers. But that can't be right. A house can't have magical powers, can it? Pick up Don's House in the Mountains today. You can find it at Amazon in paperback and in Kindle. All right, we are back, and before we get into Lights Out, one thing, of course, this past weekend we lost a huge legend. So people listen to this; it'll be a month now at that point. But Roger Corman passed away, and I think for us, right? I think for us, I think the biggest thing was the Don the Dragon Wilson films he did.
Yeah,
you mentioned you've got a copy of Black Belt.
Yeah, I do. I found a copy of Black. Well, I guess it came out. It's a German Blu-ray with hopefully English audio. It's supposed to be the uncut version of Black Belt with the extra, blood. What do you call them? Gushers? A Jolly Rancher, right?
Right. Yes, the Jolly Rancher or the Cherry Starburst, right?
The Cherry Starburst, blood flying out of people's nose. You gotta love when Don the Dragon Wilson, here comes his kick, here we go. Oh, kick in the face. It's like, it's right, because Roger Corman gave us Don the Dragon Wilson. He gave him a career.
Yeah. It's funny because a lot of the word on him, I think, is of course a lot of the horror stuff, a lot of the genre, from the Pam Grier stuff, but also the big names like Scorsese, Coppola. But I think for us, you're right. Trimble, of course, to a lesser degree, but definitely Wilson.
Yeah, great point on Trimble. It's like he gave us Trimble, Don the Dragon Wilson. Anybody else? But
well, he did some DeCascos movies, right? I guess Hunt for Eagle 1 and
that's right, yeah.
Yeah, what was the one he did with Treat Williams? Was it Operation Condor?
Operation Rogue.
Operation Rogue. Yeah, what was Operation Condor?
That was a Jackie Chan movie.
Right, exactly.
There was an Operation something.
Right. This was an operation.
What was that? Frogman Operation Stormbringer? That's like U.S. SEALs 3.
Frogman Operation Stormbringer?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
I think you haven't seen that one besides 1 and 2?
I don't think so. No. That sounds beautiful. There's a movie called Frogman that has O.J. Simpson and Louis Mandylor. Is that the movie?
I see that. It was supposed to be a show, and I think you can find footage online.
Yeah, it's a TV movie.
Why did you have to supposedly kill Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron? But goodness sake!
Oh, because 1994 is when this comes out, so it's right around the same time.
Yeah. Why did you supposedly have to kill them? I want to see Frogmen.
Yeah.
If you ask Brad, he knows I've been wanting to see Frogmen for a long time, and you might be able to see footage just a little bit.
Right, of course, it would get buried. That makes sense. It got buried because it was well, what are you gonna do? You can't.
I think they used it for evidence because he's using a knife and stuff.
Oh, right. Shows that he knew how to. Yes, yeah,
he's learning too much from where that show was. It was on ABC, something. It would have been great if he didn't do all those crimes. He'd be making great straight-to-video movies.
I know, because he was doing PM stuff at that time.
Yeah, he was right there. He did. I think he beat up and some woman. Or he beat up Kevin Kinmont, right?
Right, exactly. Yes, that's right.
Uh-oh. But now he passed away, so I guess we kind of joke around.
Yeah.
Do you ever see that bit in Naked Gun? You ever listen to Naked Gun commentary? I think it's the first one.
Oh,
and David Zucker, at the beginning, it's Nordberg sneaking around like a mask and and then David Zucker says, "Oh, is OJ his natural habitat?" Like a bird.
One of my favorites was did you ever see the Mad TV sketch they did about, it was like the outtakes for the interview? Because I completely forgot that you remember the interview? It was this pay-per-view thing that he did in 96.
Yeah. It's gonna be on tape.
And so like they had Orlando Jones. Is that? I think that's the one, right? Who was in
Yeah, he was on Mad TV.
yeah. And so he was playing OJ, and it was like he's like walking around the back of behind his house, and he hits his head on the air conditioner, like stuff like that. Like it was hilarious.
Barry Nordberg, it's perfect.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So
Because
yeah,
now they're making a new Naked Gun. I haven't heard about this. You got Liam Neeson. That's and it's like, well, I get why you're doing that because he's very straight laced. But who's gonna play Nordberg?
yeah. Well, because the thing with Leslie Nielsen is Leslie Nielsen was like this, like I don't know, he was like this whole like other thing. I don't know,
I get what you mean. Like he had the it factor. Like
yeah,
goofball all the time, but he had the it factor.
right, yeah,
Like,
exactly. Because even with Airplane, I mean, he's hilarious in
he's
Airplane.
great
Like,
Airplane, of course, Naked Gun. I mean, I
yeah,
never saw 2001: Space Travesty. I thought about watching that, and also I seen Spy Hard when I was a kid, but I remember even I thought it was kind of dumb.
right, yeah,
It's like because I liked slapstick as a kid. People just falling over. Oh no, I fell over.
right,
For a kid, you're dumb.
exactly.
It's like I think it's like I was cracking up like Chris Farley falling down a hill for 25 minutes in Black Sheep when I was a kid. Like, that's hilarious.
Yes. He gets to the end and he looks up and goes, "What the hell was that?" It's like, God, it's beautiful.
That's good. I like Chris Farley. I wish he was still around. I
Yeah.
think he was going to be like Fatty Arbuckle or something in a dramatic role. I think he could have pulled it off.
Yeah, I agree. That would have been a great movie.
And
Yeah.
they're making a Chris Farley movie. It has Paul Walter Hauser. I've seen him in a bunch of stuff.
Oh yes, yeah, because he was in Cobra Kai, I remember.
Right, he was silly in that. Like he was like
Yes.
Johnny Storm or the goofy guy. He did a good job as the goofy
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
I liked Cobra Kai, and wait, you watched all the seasons yet?
No, I only did season. I think I did season 3. I did
I get
2 or
season 4.
3. Yeah, I got to get moving on it. I got
My
to get.
goodness, you guys!
Yeah.
I'm not giving away one thing.
Maybe that's what I can do on the train trip. Maybe I can just download all the episodes from Netflix and watch them on the train, binge them.
I will say this. Whoa! There's a part
Yeah.
that's like you got like that is awesome. The bond. I was like yelling and screaming and running around my house.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. What happened?
Okay. All right. Definitely. And I found Frogman Operation Stormbringer. It's on Freevee, so I'm gonna have to watch that at some point.
It's classic New Image silliness. You can't beat U.S. SEALs 2 as a Florentine.
Right. Yes. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Damien Chapa is most evil. Ratliff.
Yes.
Ratliff, that's his name.
Yeah.
Like Killmonger. Like that sounds evil. Or Sinestro, in Green Lantern.
Yes.
Like that's I'm a good guy. My name is Sinestro. It's like,
Yes.
no, you're not.
Yeah, we know what you're doing here. Come on. Yeah.
I never actually seen Green Lantern. Is it actually worth watching or is it actually bad?
I think you should. So it's one of those ones that I feel like you should see just to say you've seen it. If that makes sense.
I just hear. I think there's a director's cut or a longer version. I want to see if maybe it'd be at the library.
I think Tubi has it. Even.
Oh, Tubi has a longer version. I'll watch it.
Oh, I don't know if they have the longer version. I think yeah.
I'll look into it later.
Yeah.
I mean, that might have been the most Ryan Reynolds as ever Ryan Reynolds. Besides, well, no, Deadpool is the most Ryan Reynolds as ever Ryan Reynolds.
It's amazing when you think about the fact that he did Green Lantern, which is considered like one of the worst comic book movies, and then he does Deadpool, which is definitely one of the best, like both from money making and just from a quality standpoint. And he's kind of leaned into Deadpool, right? Like he's not. I don't think he's doing any Green Lantern movies anymore.
I mean, that'd be funny. I mean, like he always was kind of Van Wilder for a long time, and then now he's Deadpool, which is basically Van Wilder in a suit.
Exactly.
But he still got it. It's like.
Yeah, this is it. I would say, I think this is probably the most anticipated movie this year. Is that Deadpool and Wolverine? I can't think of another movie that like.
For that,
yeah, I'm definitely yeah.
Wait, is that out soonish or is it
July? July. So we got a couple months. So as people are listening to this, you'll only have a month to go.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, it's only a month to go, guys.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Yeah, that's funny. I was talking to the future.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably go into Lights Out.
Yes.
I really want to talk more about other things. Happy to.
No. I mean, I think so. Lights Out. I'll try my best to do a synopsis of it.
Okay, go right ahead,
Because
please.
this is a much more complicated movie than what we just talked about.
Yeah, I know, right? Why is
Oh, so let me see.
please go ahead.
I'm gonna steal the IMDb one and see how
Oh,
close
please.
that gets us there.
Yeah,
A
you got
drifting ex-soldier, played by Frank Grillo, turns underground fighter with the help of a just released ex-con. So that's Mekhi Phifer. So essentially, what happens is that we Frank Grillo, he's like this drifting ex-soldier guy who's got PTSD. He goes to a dive bar and he sees Waingro from Heat and some other people playing poker, and he's like, "Oh, can I get it on the game?" And of course, when he beats Waingro and his buddies want to like take him out, and he dispatches them all pretty quickly. And Mekhi Phifer sees it, and he's like, "Oh, hey, this guy could make me some money as an underground fighter because Mekhi Phifer's in the underground fight game." So after he gets him breakfast, the cheapest meal of the day, and convinces him to
yeah.
get into a fight, he does a fight. We get some X-ray shots when so we get
Oh,
X-ray
very
cam.
Street Fighter. Very Street
Yes,
Fighter.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I think they could have I think they could have like kind of done a better job with that idea.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion on that one. But go ahead, please, with the plot.
Well, so then at the same time, Mekhi Phifer's sister, who is played by Erica Peoples, I don't know if she's related to any of the Peoples,
Is she rated
whether
for the Eagles?
Ania, Mario Van, I don't,
Mario yeah.
one of the peoples. But she's the sister of Mekhi Phifer. She has a daughter, and she has a boyfriend who is into crime boss Dermot Mulroney for a lot of money.
Yes,
And he's like,
Sage Parker. Great
yeah.
name, by the way.
Sage. You got to have a baddie named Sage, right? That's the
Yeah.
best name, best baddie name that you can do there. So Sage, he ends up, you can't find the money at their house. He's tearing the place apart trying to find the money, and he gets picked up by Donald Cerrone, because you got to have Donald Cerrone in these movies. He's he's like the baddie, right? That's like he's like Sage's number one fighter, and Cerrone brings this guy to his place, and we find out that not only Dermot Mulroney, the other number one fighter he has is Juju Chen. So we get her again, Juju Chen, which
Is that
yeah, we had her in the what was it the
Hollow?
what was it Hollow Point?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jay Moore.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
Jay Moore. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so Juju Chen is back, and then we've got Jamie King, who um she's playing Glenn Close
Yes.
as a detective. Uh, we
Goodness.
we don't know what's going on here. Why she's got this hair? She's got Glenn Close's hair, and
And Glenn,
like
his face.
older Glenn Close hair.
Yeah, she looks like she's 60, 70 years old in this movie. Like,
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, but
no.
we find out that not only is she a bigger baddie than Mulrooney, but also she's a detective.
Right.
And she kills this guy without finding the money for her. So now they got to find the money. At the same time, Mekhi Phifer is bringing bringing Grillo around to get involved in the fights that Mulrooney is setting up. So there's sort of this like kind of roundabout thing that's happening here with a kind of a collision course to wackiness. And finally, okay, they figured out that the cops are crooked, they're dirty. Grillo needs some help. Scott Adkins, if you need him, he just happens to be there. We'll
Yeah.
bring Scott Adkins in, and there's kind of some big final shootout with the cops, and then Grillo and Adkins and Mekhi Phifer, and that's it, I guess.
That's about it. Now, this was, I hate to say this again, also disappointing because,
Yeah.
as you know, we all love punch fighting.
Yes.
And first rule of punch fighting, you gotta see the fights. So it'll have me on those quick cuts. So it's like,
I mean, they're so bad with the quick cuts. There's a scene where Grillo is throwing somebody against the wall and it cuts it twice. So
Yep.
you can't even do like a throw into a wall without cutting it to another shot of him getting thrown to the wall, which is ridiculous.
And that's the thing about Grillo. Now, I like Grillo. I just rewatched Captain America and Winter Soldier, Rumlow, or whatever his name was.
Yeah,
Awesome
yeah.
in that movie.
Right. Yeah,
Or
speaking of
stole
John
it.
Wick, another one of the top my top action movies of the
Yeah,
2010s,
I
Winter
love that
Soldier.
movie. I mean, I watched it, was it last week, 2 weeks ago? And
Yeah.
it delivered the freaking goods again.
Yeah.
I know who stole that more. Was it Grillo, Robert Redford, or Gary Shandling? And it's like, so who's stealing this movie?
Right. Right.
I think in the stolen sweepstakes, I think it's Redford, but it's just
Yeah.
because he's
Because
so freaking good.
Yeah, what we were talking about is we need Grillo to bring back Crossbones in
Yep.
a Punisher Disney Plus movie, or like a Punisher, like, $80
A
million
movie, that's a good
dollar.
idea. A Disney
Yeah.
Plus original movie, Rumlow Origins, as you have to probably call
Bro,
it.
that'd be great too, Rumble Orange. But I was thinking like Grillo
Rum-
versus Burnhall, I think would be
Oh,
fantastic too. Like Grillo as Crossbones versus Burnhall's Punisher, I think could be a really good movie too.
that's why Lights Out. I'm getting frustrated with Frank Grillo a little bit because it's like he's making the movies you want him to make, but they're not made right.
Right?
So
Yes.
they're like, no, it's like this is a punch fighting movie. You need to see the fights. You need to
Yes.
kind of care about the characters. You don't have those.
No.
You know, the thing about breakfast, all I do is talk about breakfast in the movie. It's like, is it? I think is it one of the logos Denny's? It's just like it's like I have to say,
Exactly.
it's produced by Denny's, but it's like not that they work Denny, but you know what I mean. It's a lot of breakfast talk. Like, oh, yeah, I got you breakfast. You got me breakfast. Like,
Well, this is the
okay,
Pulp Fiction.
well,
This is like the Pulp Fictionication of movies, that it's still
yeah,
lingering with this kind of crap, right? That
I know.
like you,
I was getting like, all right, already, just buy him lunch then. It's just like,
right?
it's just
Exactly.
like,
Right.
but
It
then you
wasn't
got,
that funny. Yeah.
but
It's
that's like, yeah, it was no laughs. I mean, that's the thing.
yeah.
And also, I will have to mention Amaury Nolasco. Is how you say his name?
Yeah.
He was funny. He almost stole. He actually was fun in the movie. He plays Fosco. He's in one of those like he's like Pinball, Dante Basco,
Right.
Blood and
Right.
Bone, silly performance of
Yes.
Kane. That's
Right.
what Fosco is. That was good. I wish it was more Fosco.
Yeah.
But like, because I think Morley and Ozzy knew this was. I think this is crud. He probably thought, I'll just ham it up. I guess moon over my hammy at Denny's. That's what they had to fry for
There we
breakfast.
go. Perfect.
So
Perfect.
it's wouldn't it be funny if it was like a Fosco movie? It's like it's like why is this man who's completely ridiculous has a cane and an eye patch? It's just like, that'd be great if he was the main character. So, but this is a double Dermot pod, so I guess we gotta talk Dermot.
Yeah.
You gotta wait 20 minutes. I did a Dermot watch, but he was good. He was actually really good this year, just like Nolasco.
Yeah.
Because he has sunglasses. He's doing like these kind of like Goran head nods, and like
Yes.
going like and it's like he's like I'm down with it.
Right.
And then remember that part where he fights his fighters as where and when, here and now.
Yes. I immediately got Luther Vandross in my head when he said that. It's like here and now. Yes.
and I and I thought it was the thing from Fat Boy Slim.
Oh,
Right here, right now.
oh
Which I guess is a
yes.
lift from Strange Days
Yeah.
that Bassett says to Ralph Fiennes. I know it's fine, but
But it's more fun when it's Fiend. Just like it's more fun when it's Brian James instead of
you're Brian.
Brian James. Yeah.
Yeah, Brian.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah.
It's Fiends. That's how I said it.
Yeah, exactly.
I like
Right.
Strange Days, but I think there's that was an interesting movie. But see, that's when we're talking about other movies compared to Lights Out, and let's talk about the waste of Atkins for a second.
Yes.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Where am I?
Because the thing about Atkins, I think this is important, is that he's been doing less of this kind of thing lately. Like if you
yes.
right, you look at his bio and it's like, okay, in 2024 he does one more shot where he's the star of that with Michael J. White. I haven't seen that one yet, but
I think also Berenger. So
you bear it right, exactly. In 2023, he does John Wick Chapter 4, which was like that. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I saw he posted shots of what his character looked like.
yeah,
He's like the
he's
big
very
guy.
interesting in it. Yeah, you'll see, it's pretty cool actually.
Yeah, and he does another thing called Wherever You Go, which I think that might. I was hoping it was a Netflix original, but it's not. It's like some Egyptian movie. He's doing another Egyptian movie because he did an Egyptian movie way back. So I guess he is still kind of doing that kind of stuff, but he's not doing like. You remember 2019? He did like 5 movies. Like he's not doing
Yeah,
like
he's
the.
slowed down a bit. I mean, how old
Yeah,
is Atkins? Is he like is he almost 50? I mean, like
he's close. He was born in 76, so
uh,
he'll be 48 this year. He's actually when we're posting this, he'll be close to his 48th birthday. So
okay.
yeah, he
Maybe he's
turns 48
slowing
on June 17th.
you know, maybe maybe his age and his, punching and kicking action things are catching up to him.
Yeah,
It's just like Don Lundgren. I'm just running a little slower. Just
right.
a little
Exactly.
slower.
Well,
It's like,
because That's the crazy thing, right? Is that we think of 48 as older, but in this whole like action hero, I mean, Dermot Mulroney. I mean, Frank Grillo was born in '68. He's like 8 years
old.
older than Adkins, right?
It's like he's like he's like a star now. It just makes me laugh. It's like he's like almost 60. He's like, I'm a star now.
Exactly.
But I guess he has a movie that's coming out soon. The Grillo Stir, Fire Up the Grillo, which is Hounds of War. Looks so hopefully that's good. It also has Rona Mitra.
Mm.
Remember, well, she was in Hard Target too, right? With,
Right.
And of course Bob Nepper.
Never, right, exactly. And what was the one she did? Was it Absalon or something? It was. No. I think it was the Beowulf, like with Christopher Lambert.
Yeah, Christopher Lambert and Gott's Otto.
That's right.
Immediately without looking it up, but it's like
right, exactly.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, Hounds of, because right, I mean that's the thing is that all of these, so
Right.
Grillo is doing a ton of stuff. You've got, I mean, Dermot Mulroney, he's turning into like a regular Eric Roberts, where he's just like,
I think that he needs to pick better material, or he's gonna be like Eric Roberts to be in the top
right.
too.
Exactly. Hounds of War is that Isaac Florentine.
Yeah, so I think this looks like a good one. Now hopefully it'll come out soon. It's in post production, right?
Yeah, so we it's got Mike Muller as well. Mike Muller listed in the cast.
I think we have something here, so hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I know. We have to cross our fingers.
Right, exactly. I think he's doing one with Dolph as well. Isaac Florentine.
Which one's that? Is that just announced or
Hellfire? It's in.
Sounds cool.
It's got I think that's the one he's doing. It's Dolph. It's also got Stephen Lang, Harvey Keitel.
Oh yes, I think they're filming it now, or it's going to be out soon.
Right. Plot kept under wraps. I don't know why. Why do you always need to keep the plot under wraps? Like let us know what's going on here.
It's a Dolph Lundgren movie. It's like probably about like a soldier out for revenge. Like the plot's now unwrapped. Okay, yeah. So it's like right, under wraps with Dolph Lundgren movie.
Exactly.
Are you kidding me?
Right.
Like,
yeah, just
yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say unwrap the plot. Keep it.
Unwrap it.
Yes.
Unwrap it like a Christmas gift.
Exactly.
What's the new apes movie, like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes or whatever? It's like if you looked it up, let's say a year ago, it's like plot under wraps. It's like it's about apes. So
right.
The plot's fine. I mean, like you can say what it is.
Right. Exactly. I didn't realize. I saw an ad on Hulu. There's 9 of those movies.
Wow.
Like before, so I think this one's the 10th one, and I mean they count the old ones. I guess there were some sequels with the Heston ones. Yeah, so I guess the two together make 9 movies before this one.
Was more than Fast and the Furious.
Right. Exactly. Yes, they could have called it
gaps though.
They could have called it Apes X. Yeah.
Yeah, Fast X and also Saw X, which I just picked up a copy. Saw X.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I haven't seen any of the Saw movies.
Here it's good. My sister liked it, which is surprising. She doesn't watch many movies. Like, well. She's like, usually I do an impression of her, but like, I like that. It's like that kind of sounds like. But I asked her like, does it do it? It's like, what's that? The song, for the Saw theme, dun 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 dun. It's like there's like 5 more twists that Tobin Bell says, and then that's the end of the movie. That's the Saw movie and a couple traps.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see Saw the final chapter?
I haven't seen any of them. I haven't seen a Saw movie. Yeah.
Well, it's not a spoiler, but Chester Bennington from the classic band Linkin Park is in the final chapter, and he does his classic scream because he's like stuck in a car.
Oh, nice!
It's like his skin pulls out of the car. It goes, it's all very ridiculous. It's all traps too. It's barely I'm surprised that's even counted as a movie.
Right. Just traps. Just
traps. And like I never seen a thinner plot. And that's the problem with Lights Out. We'll go back to Lights Out, which is pretty thin plot for a punch fighter because you don't really care. And Jamie King, let's go to her for a second.
Yeah.
She looks like freaking grandma.
What were they doing there with that? I mean, they were just like, okay, we're gonna take Glenn Close from. I mean, not like Fatal Attraction Glenn Close. This is like I don't know, Big Chill. I mean, but older like Glenn Close. I mean, it's and they're like, okay, we're gonna make you Glenn Close for this movie.
You know what he looks like Glenn Close from that movie that came out a few years ago called Hillbilly Elegy.
Oh yes,
which is like a hick or something. They like stole that and put it onto Jamie King. Like, so if people have time, just look that up, and then look at Jamie King, like, oh goodness,
That's what they were going for.
yeah, they were going for that. Because also I thought she looked like Julia Garner from Ozark,
Mm-hmm.
the hair, but
Yeah.
mostly just Glenn Close, because that was like the perfect. What a waste! I mean, didn't Jamie King used to like be in better items? It's just like
It
she's in
doesn't
Sin
look like
City.
it, right? Because she's in like Out of Death.
Oh, that's right. She's falling off.
Yeah, she's doing these kinds of things, and
Yeah.
so
Oops.
it's
I like
it's
that
so
at that though. I don't know.
yeah.
I didn't mind that one.
You
Was
know,
that
for
wrong place also? Was that Jamie King?
no, because that was Ashley Green, but the
Oh
covers
yeah.
are identical. They
Yeah. You know, it's still playing. And we say identical. I go right back to Desert. What's that like? Desert Heist or what's it called Desert Dawn. You know, Kellen Lutz and the other guy.
Giganay,
Giganay.
Cam
Yeah, Cam
Giganay or
Giganay.
whatever. Yeah.
Like I can't tell who's who still. I'm keeping an eye on that. Because maybe we can do a Cam Giganay or Kellen Lutz double feature with that and Do Justice.
Yeah, there's Due Justice. What's the other one he did? Black Warrant? Is that the one with Behringer
Yeah,
or somebody?
Behringer. Yeah. So and
Yeah.
I was trying to see if Java Heat was hanging around still, but it's not for free. That's the one with Mickey Rourke.
Oh yes.
And
Yeah.
if you saw that one, right?
No, I haven't seen it. No, I know of its existence, but
It's kind of lots of Mickey Rourke not looking so great. It's like almost 14 years ago. Like that's insane. It's like it's just junky and just like why Mickey Rourke? He said I'm not gonna squander my career again.
oh, he had. I mean, the Rourke thing is fascinating because it's like this
Yeah.
blip. It's like 08, he does The Wrestler.
Yeah, fantastic.
And then I'm trying to think, was it 2010 when Iron Man 2 came out?
Right. Yeah. So okay, he ride that wave.
Yeah.
Right? And I guess he can count the Expendables, sure, the theatrical release movie. So,
Right. That's a good point. Yeah.
but and then like, oh my goodness, what? I mean, like, I like to see if he needs a new island like John Malkovich.
Right.
He just like, but I don't know if he even needs that anymore. I mean, like, it's like he just maybe he just likes to work. I don't know. It's these movies are not. He's not making good choices.
Yeah, there's not a lot of work to do with these movies, right? I mean, what work is he doing in them? Yeah,
well,
but he likes to work.
Because that's what's so funny. Because in Mickey Rourke in the '90s, he's like, oh, you got Point Blank. You got Creepers, or what's it called, or some silly like creepy crawlers movie. And then you get all these garbagey movies. And then he finally gets The Wrestler. Here we go. I'm back. Oh, you're doing this again? It's just like, why are you making these garbages again?
Yeah.
You said you were going to.
I mean,
but I almost think it's kind of funny, though. It's like, you're back.
Yeah, was it one of those things where like people
get out like, well, look who's back in the crud department.
Right, exactly.
Hi, Mickey, you're back. I see.
Right. Was it one of those things? I think because I think people didn't like his baddie in Iron Man, which I thought he was great, but I wonder if that's part of it. I don't know what the deal was with that, with like why it was like, because it is quick. It's like very like. It's The Wrestler, and then by the time Expendables is done, he's back to doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I mean, like, oh my goodness. So yeah, he had like a little bit of a resurgence. And then you look at this, and you go to the Courier, and it's not Mickey Rourke podcast, but you got the Courier.
Right.
You got Dead in Tombstone, where it's like, oh, he plays the devil, aka Blacksmith.
Right.
And Java Heat, he plays Malik. Like, oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
And then Black November. Did you ever see this?
No,
it's not great. We should watch it just to it's on Prime Video. I see. It's like two movies smushed together into one movie.
Oh, that's always great.
It's really weird. It's like Mickey Rourke's like smushed into this movie he wasn't supposed to be in. So it's like Eric Roberts supposed to be in it or something. It's really weird. You should look, and else it says Anne Heche and Akon.
Oh, the singer
Akon. Remember Akon?
Yes.
What was his song? I'm trying to remember, but it's on Kim Basinger. So it's kind of like a 9.5 weeks reunion almost.
Yeah.
And Wyclef or just Wyclef.
Yeah, you got to have Wyclef show. Yeah, I mean, it's like a whole bunch of people in it, and it's like it's kind of ensemble-ish.
It's a weird movie. I mean, like if you look up the trivia, it's like this is what. But yeah, and then Black November, Java Heat, then Tombstone, and then Sin City 2. Okay, he's backwards. Oh no, War Pigs. Skin Traffic, Blunt Force Trauma.
Yeah.
Weaponized, which I'm dying to see. I bought that.
You I mean, again, I would say about Weaponized, just like any of these other ones, you should
Uh,
watch it just to say you watched it. Like,
I know. I want to see Johnny Messner and Mickey Rourke and Tom Sizemore. Is Eric
yeah,
Roberts in that?
no, it's just those three.
Oh,
Yeah,
Michael Paré. I'm at 5 Dermot Mulroney's movies. I want to go back to Lights Out on Letterboxd. So he's winning right now.
yeah,
And who's going to be
you,
top actor?
you might have a Mulrooney. I was trying to think who my top one is. It might be Samuel L. Jackson from me doing all
Oh,
those Marvel
that's
movies.
right. So you've been watching more Marvel this year.
I
So
haven't watched any. I haven't watched any in a while since I was doing them for
okay.
the solo pod. But there was enough, right? It was like 12 movies, and
And
he
that's
was
what
in
you
like
had
9 of them.
when I was Paré. I was like, that's hilarious. I mean,
Yeah.
I got back with Paré, but now because I've seen 5 movies, so it was Lights Out and Ruthless. The rewatch of Copycat. I did watch. What was the one we were supposed
Oh,
to watch?
Dirty South, the one that
I
we
watched.
think about.
Watched. I always forget the last. Oh, Scream 6.
Yeah.
So I'm at 5 already for Dermot. But anything else? Oh my goodness, what is this for Mickey Rourke? I'm sorry.
Oh, for movie.
Murder Motel.
Now, is that in this like post, like, or is this one of his more recent
This
ones?
is the most recent movie. It comes out. Well, it came out in 2023. It hasn't come out yet.
Oh, okay, it's an upcomer.
But it's got Mickey Rourke, Glenn Plummer, and James Russo, and John Enos. And it's like, if you saw the cover, it's like, no. It's like, and then we'll be on that. We could do a Mickey podcast. Oh, look at it, not another church movie. What's this? Mickey, no. Jamie Foxx as God, Kevin Daniels, and Mickey Rourke as the devil. This is not a Tyler Perry movie. May 10th. Oh, it came out the other day?
Yeah, I think, yeah, because I think it's not another church movie. Oh, it's actually in the theater.
It's in the theater. It's at Apple Cinemas, our place in Waterbury, Connecticut.
Oh man, is it playing here in Philadelphia? I was playing Coatesville. I don't know how far away Coatesville is from where I am here in Philadelphia.
Worst movie ever made. Well, I won't. But it's like, so it's a parody of a Tyler Perry movie. I guess that could work, but I don't know. Mickey, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to watch it probably. It's like, I'll watch it when it hits the streamers, and I set out the chords, and I have to watch it. It's like, back to Lights Out. Let me have any more notes. Hold on.
Yeah,
that's all I have. Dermot was pretty good. That's it. I mean, it's just okay. It's like, at least Grillo was punch fighting, but it's better than the Kingdom. Remember the show Kingdom?
I don't know. I don't know if I've seen that show.
Was AT&T network. I got it for a good deal on Amazon. It's Frank Grillo. It's like a not really punch fighting show. It's like an MMA show, but very limited punch fighting. Also, Nick Jonas or one of the Jonases.
Oh, one of the Jonas, the Joe Bros.
One of the Joe Bros. I'm not sure which one. It's a waste of time, unfortunately. I mean, it's too much family drama, not enough punching.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like, no. And I remember watching it last year, like, hey, where's punching? I know it's not Neanderthalish, but this is supposed to be on MMA. Look at Lockdown, look at Circle of Pain, look at Hector Davaria. They deliver on the punching. It's like,
well, because you know what it is. I think there's so much going on with all the corruption stuff in this movie. You don't get as many fights.
Point. Yes.
I mean, we get.
Yeah, great point.
Yeah, I mean, how many fights do we get? We get Grillo fights one guy. He has the fight in the bar, obviously, but he fights one guy on like when there's like dirt, like ghost town place, right? Like the cops show up and they all have to like escape. So he has that one fight there.
Right.
He has the fight against one of Mulroney's guys, and then he fights another one of Mulroney's guys immediately after. And before that, there's 2 fights that didn't have Mulroney, right? There was the one that was sort of establishing this is a punch fighting place with 2 guys fighting, and then there's the Juju Chen fight, right? She has a fight.
But see, it all kind of overshadowed by this corruption by Jamie King. It's like, no, all right. Well, I mean, it was better.
It's too much, right? It's too much going on. It's too much going on.
And if Mekhi Phifer, I mean, I almost kind of feel bad for him too. I mean, like, I know. I love that he's name checked in the "Lose Yourself" song. They don't play an 8 Mile, by the way. He didn't.
Right, exactly.
That's the 8 Mile flaw. Like, you think, oh, he's gonna sing "You Lose Yourself" against Mekhi Phifer, and then he doesn't. It's some rap battle. But maybe I don't want to say the word duped, But it's like I thought that was the plot because I never seen 8 Mile until maybe like 6-7 years ago. Like what's Eminem's supposed to be another movie?
Yeah, I think so. I think he was supposed to. Because I don't remember how good or bad 8 Mile did. I was,
Right. I think it did okay enough for him to be in another movie, but I guess he doesn't want to be in another movie. It's
yeah, I
like,
think his career kind of fell off a little bit, and it's hard to know with those guys. Like, because the thing with music is like you get to a certain level where you're not listening to new music, but
that's
the new
true.
music is still out, right? It's still coming out, so it's like these like these artists like they keep making. I mean, like you too. I mean, they keep putting out albums, and it's like like their initial fans are like in their 60s now.
Well,
It's
that's
like,
good. And then I never got that U2 album on my phone.
yeah, I think
I,
I did. I think I did. I had an iPhone 4 at the time, and it was just like, yeah, I had to delete it.
you got to delete it?
I
I hear
deleted
you
it.
couldn't delete it.
Yeah, I don't remember how that worked. But I thought I got rid of it. I thought I did, but maybe
Double check. It's like because I was too lazy to do the update, so I never did it. So it's
yeah.
like I don't know, I'll do the update later. I'm busy. It's like so I never did it, and I never got the album.
Yeah.
I'm indifferent to U2.
Yeah, I like you too. I saw them in
Yeah.
concert. I saw them play in Albany, of
Were
all
they fun
places.
in concert at least?
Yeah, so it was the Elevation tour. That was, my buddy got tickets because he was a big fan. He was part of their fan club. So like he got like these special tickets that we went. So we were like kind of not like really close. We were kind of in like kind of the inner bowl area. And I mean they played some good ones. They played like Bloody Sunday and some of the old hits like that. But the Elevation tour, I mean, been like '01 maybe something like that. '02 something along those lines.
Okay, so there are people. Most people like U2. I assume. It's like I think it's just people don't like Bono because he's like a political. He's always political all the time.
Yeah.
It's like I looked up Bono. Now I have his real name. Haha.
Yeah,
I
Houston.
know it.
Right.
Yeah, it's Paul Houston.
Yeah, Paul. Because the funny thing about that, because he has that movie, that song, something like "Stuck in the Moment" or something like that,
Mhm.
and what is the actor's name? Oh, I can't believe I'm Brendan Fear, who was in
Yeah, I've heard
Best
of it.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays a young. He played his character. He plays a field goal kicker who misses a big field goal in the Super Bowl, and his last name is Houston on his back. So
Ah.
yeah, so it's kind of a crazy thing there that like yeah. But so my buddy actually, the one I went to see the U2, he's like, oh, Houston, that's Bono's last name. I was like, oh, no way. I didn't know who Brendan Fehr was at that time when that video came out. Because I know him now from that one. And what's the movie he did with Slater? Stranded, right? We played a doctor with Christian Slater.
Right.
Yeah, he was great in that one. I really liked him there.
Because then I know Bono's real name. What's the Edge's real name? That's the real question.
That one I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, now I have to look it up. It's like I like that they both have like nicknames, but the other people don't. It's like how
Right.
does he
Yes.
come
Yeah.
here? I always wondered about that. Like,
Yeah. What is it? Adam Clayton and Larry Mullins, right? The other two.
That's great. That's really great that you know that because
Yeah.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah. So what was Edge? I
David
don't know Edge.
Howell Evans.
What is it?
David Howell Evans.
See, yeah. So I was hoping when you said it was gonna be like, oh, that's right. There's no, oh, that's right on that one. I didn't know that.
Oh, that'd be funny if you said it anyway. More like C. Thomas Howell Evans. It's like,
Right. Bringing us back to a good movie, right?
yeah.
The Sweeper, which I was looking to see. I think those action names I was talking about. Obviously, Spiro Rosatos was the Sweeper, but I don't know if any of those other names were in
Right.
the
Well, the Sweeper had that movie. See, we don't get these cool. This could have been actually a really good movie. I love to recommend. It's
Yeah.
Grillo. He's underground punching.
Yeah.
Because he looks the part. He acts the part. I'm not bashing Grillo at all. I'm just saying the movie around him is not good. It's just that he doesn't have the right material.
Yeah. It needed
Or
to
the
be
material he
more.
had before, like this one.
Yeah, it was just too much. Now, this is an interesting thing when we talk about Christian Sesma, right? Because this is the second of his movies we've done. We did Section 8 as well, which Section 8, right, we kind of joked about it more. But also, Section 8 kind of was a little bit all over the place, too. It's just, it was like anchored by the Dolph and the Dermot Mulroney, I think.
And Mickey Rourke, let's not forget.
Right, exactly.
He was, I'm a car mechanic, see ya. It's like
Yeah, exactly.
Earl Atherton. But Dolph Lundgren, you almost forget he's in that. It's, this is a Quantum movie. It's like causing Ryan Quantum.
Right. Well, and the other thing is we get the same amount of we actually got a little bit more Scott Adkins, I guess, in section 8.
Oh, for sure. Then
Yeah,
this, I'd say barely in it.
yeah. And the thing is, right, is that the Adkins we get here, this is a thing that kind of always bothers me about these action movies. I don't know how you feel about this, but there's the idea that, like, okay, whenever the hero asks somebody for help and they help, they get killed, they die. And
Yeah.
it's like, we knew the moment Atkins tells, Grillo, I'm in, I'm helping you guys out,
Yeah.
that he signed his death warrant and he's done. And it's like, why do you have to be that predictable?
I know. And you have, well, yeah, that's a good point. Just change it around for a second. Like, oh, he's still around. Oh, okay, great. So,
Yeah.
did he even say Grillo's name in the movie? I know they call him Duffy because his name in the credits says Michael Duffy Duffield.
Right. No, it's just Duffy, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even know he was Duffy. I was like, who's Duffy? Which way? Like, I couldn't figure out any of the characters because everybody's there's like.
Exactly. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say there's just so many names getting thrown around that I was like, because again, there's just so much going on in this movie that
It's very
nothing is
mixed up. Yeah, I wish you just be more straightforward in a way.
Yeah.
I be cliche all you want, but just be more straightforward. What Duffy I care about is Patrick Duffy, but it's like, so, should I watch Step by Step? I don't know. I always thought Duffy. I know it has our buddy.
Yeah, he plays a great beach bum in it, which is it's a lot of fun. It's an interesting movie. Interesting TV show, not movie. It's interesting TV because it's like
the movie. I like to see that. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's like a modern take on the Brady Bunch. And so in that sense, it is kind of a fascinating concept.
Well, because we all love Cody. It's like, see, because Cody, Sasha Mitchell, he was like Joey Lawrence. He was that Joey Lawrence character, very popular, super popular. So he's like a Joey type.
Right, he was. Yeah, because I guess like one of the things at that time was he was dealing with issues with his wife at that time. So like it made it. So I don't know if they wrote him out of the show or something because of the issues. But yeah, we kind of lose him a bit. Because yeah, it's kind of too bad. Like I think he was going to be doing Kickboxer sequels with Albert Pyun, and they just never got them made. It would be nice if whoever was like, because I know there's Dustin Ferguson did like the 5th Nemesis movie. It would be nice if it's Dustin Ferguson or whoever, if they could do like pick up those Kickboxer sequels that Pyun wanted to do with Sasha Mitchell. They could be, it could be really cool to have some of those.
I can't. We could still make them. I haven't checked in on Sasha Mitchell, but I didn't want to forget this because I was talking. Let me get the title up because it's. I was talking to our friend, which is Richard Pierce.
Oh yes, yeah.
I did watch his movie the other day, and this never happened. I told him I'd say it on the next podcast. I didn't want to forget it. I liked it. It was good. It was on Tubi. It's kind of a good horror movie. It has a good kind of old school feel to it. Because I know you want to watch Final Heist, which I was talking to him about it today. He might be on our podcast too. Let's do some scheduling.
Yeah, I think so. We were talking about. I meant to have. I had him on the podcast way back in the old version with Jamie. Yeah, and the problem with that one is that it was one of the ones that we lost when we lost the 2014 one. So, like, I think that the first time you guys were on also was lost. I can't remember what was the
that
movie.
Was lost because I was going to look it up because I asked him. I was going to ask you about the archives or something. Maybe it's still hanging around.
I have a copy of it. I've got to upload it. So I have a copy of it. I've just got to upload them. So I've got to catch up. I think I've gotten like as far as like August. I think I couldn't find the two. When I got married, John Cross from After Movie Dinner, he did 2 episodes with Jamie. At the time when I got married, I haven't been able to find those episodes, but then I've got the other ones before that, so it might just be like a 2-week gap with the episodes, and I would just put those other ones up. So yeah, so I have a copy of it. Yeah, I think he came on to do Ambush. I can't remember what you guys came on to do for the first. I mean, I remember you did Man of Tai Chi for the second one, but I can't remember
what the movie, which the title escapes me. It wasn't Forgotten,
right?
When Dolph was on a bad run.
That's right. It might have been the one with Kung Lee.
Oh, Puncture Wounds?
Yeah, that may have been it. I'll have to try to find it. So yeah, I got to get some of those in there. But yeah, Richard Pierce, he was a great guest. At that time, we were only doing episodes at 8 p.m. So it was like
Right.
harder to schedule people. And so he's on the West Coast. I think we
Right.
caught him
Yeah.
like just as he was coming back from rush hour. But yeah, it was really great guest. And yeah, and then I was on kind of hiatus and I missed when I eventually did section 4 after. But yeah, Final Heist, I saw it on because not only is it, did he write it, but Tim Abel is also in it.
Yeah.
From yeah,
Yes.
so
I love Tim Abel.
yeah.
He's fantastic in the base.
Yes, yes.
My goodness, he's insane in that. It's like all he does is like scream and shoot everybody. It's like what a great movie.
Yeah. I mean, for a take on the sort of like the Point Break paradigm, I guess, which I guess was used before that with like, people infiltrating bikers in like the 60s and 70s. So it's,
Right.
Point Break didn't,
Yeah,
but
this is not original, or is it? But it's
right,
like,
exactly. Yeah. But the base as one of those that between the DeCascos and the Able, and then also gotta have the Paula Tricky, like that
yeah,
combination makes that one a really. I mean, we're talking about Lights Out, a movie that missed.
it
It,
missed.
it
Yeah,
it's so weird that like you've got things like the base out there, and it's almost like when you know something like the base works, like how do you end up with Lights Out that did that? I guess they just tried too much, or Ruthless. Yeah, I guess it's just they try too much. They try too many different
there's
things.
too many things going on. Just keep it straightforward. Look at, like I said, look at The Mercenary, a newer action movie, and
Yeah,
that,
nothing wrong.
that just delivered the goods, and that's all you need to do.
Yeah,
And I guess I will once again not recommend this movie. I mean, it's okay. I mean, like I would watch it in the morning and just kind of maybe use your phone. I mean, it's like
yeah. I mean,
kind
for
of
for
a phone movie. I
Sesma,
hate to say that. Yeah.
for Christian Sesma, I think the better ones for him, I think definitely Section 8 is a more fun movie
Yes,
than
that was
this one.
good because it had a lot more going on than this one. I mean, like, because you had all these people. Hey, look, it's Dolph. Hey, look, it's
Right? Yeah,
look, it's of course Dermot Mulroney. The thing that really put us on the Dermot Mulroney train was that. It was like we
right,
should.
exactly. Yeah, so we can thank him for that, right? That it
Yeah,
was is
that was
um,
helpful, and he was
yeah,
good in the movie. Dermot was actually good in the movie. What you had of him was fun. He had the suit. He had the sunglasses. It
mhm,
was good.
yeah,
If you want to, I will recommend this more than Ruthless
yeah.
just to see Dermot being fun in it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I think I
Not
think
total loss.
no, right. I think that's the difference between this one and I think one of the things that makes this one a little bit more redeemable is
Yeah.
that I think not only is Mulrooney a more fun character as the baddie, but I
Right.
think Grillo is also someone you can root for, even if you don't get.
Yeah, I can root for him, but I feel like just the writing in his character is pretty weak. I mean, like,
Yeah,
because you don't really care. Nice to see Grillo, as I said. But I mean, like,
right.
you know, I feel like, I think, you know what, just like Ruthless in a way, let's do a do over on this one. Do Lights Out 2. Because a lot of people might have passed away in Lights Out 1. But you can
Right.
still, but you can do Lights Out 2. You know, like,
Yeah. Or like they could remake this movie, right? And
more
they
fights,
could
better choreography.
yeah, remake it with more fights, that kind of thing. I think if they remade it with more fights and less of this whole like crooked cop and they needing to find the money kind of thing,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think you know, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know because I guess there has to be some tension point, right? That he's like fighting these fights that I guess they've got to figure out like what's the tension point of like
Well,
why would he be doing all this? But
he could have just built up more fighters from Dermot Mulroney. You know, it's like he has
yeah,
more. He's like, here's my fighter. How about more fighters?
hmm
Like that'd be funny, right? It's like he beat my fighter. Dermot Mulroney, like, get me more fighters. Every
right, right, exactly, right.
fight is a bunch of meatheads that are running or fighting at the same time.
That's right. Oh, I
Like,
forgot. There was one other fight I forgot that Grillo has. He fights a police officer and he breaks his spine,
oh
I guess, and kills
yeah.
him, right?
I mean, this could have been fixed. Really, a couple easy tweaks, and you got yourself kind of like a fun B movie action. Or it's a little bit too serious minded. Let's make it more like Shoot Fighter or something like that. You know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame because I think again, like you said, we get this one. We have a really big cast, and we have a really kind of a fun idea in terms of the punch fighting element of
Yeah.
it.
Sure.
Um, it's
I'm
almost
up.
like there's two movies, right? It's almost like there's two movies.
Yeah, you could have made like a corruption cop drama with Frank Grillo, kind of like what Point Blank. What's it called? Point Blank. I saw that a few months ago as Frank Grillo and Marcia Gay Harden. She's a corrupt cop in it. It's not. It's who else is in that? I forget. I think the guy from Captain America. What's his name? Sorry. Uh,
Oh,
Anthony Mackie.
that's right, Anthony Mackie. That's right. Yes,
Uh,
that's right.
it's
Yeah.
okay. I mean, I watched it. It's like this is a movie on a screen, and you don't have much going on now. I was like, no, Grillo, no. And
Right.
that was before we watched Lights Out. I was excited for the punch fight. Like, and then no, Grillo, no. He was really good in Operation Seawolf. With his not military haircut. It was like so. That is not military standard haircut.
No, and the 5 o'clock shadow, and
Yeah,
it was almost a complete sit down role as well, wasn't it,
I
for him
like
in,
that
in
though. Yeah,
Seawolf? Yeah.
it's funny that he's doing that now. It's just like this because he's older.
Right.
This is what Eric Roberts would be doing. He would be in that movie, and then Dolph Lundgren might see him for like 1 second.
Right, exactly.
He's the biker. Sons of Anarchy always come by.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it for Lights Out. We want to do the spot, or else.
Yeah.
You want to say?
No, I think we can move into our spotlight on a fight, which is a classic. We've got it's sudden death, right? The movie, or sorry, sudden death. In the movie, Van Damme is kind of walking around, he's trying to find his daughter, and here comes the mascot. And of course, he knows the real mascot, right? Because he's a security guard there and whatever.
Yes, he knows. Yeah, it's a female mascot or female, mascot, and then she gets killed by this other the other person who takes over the mascot costume.
Yeah. So he starts to sense something's off, and he sees like the hat that's supposed to be the daughter's hat. And so once he figures it out, right, then she leaps into action, and there's something almost like Family Guy-ish, right, about the fact that we've got a woman
fight.
Yes, right, exactly. Like it's like something that you would see in something like that, where you've got this person in a penguin suit fighting Van Damme, but it's like they also they go all out in terms of the fact that we're in a kitchen, so it's like they do the whole push his head near the slicer, and he puts her hand in the boiling oil. She ends up getting strangled with her, like her thing was like on the dishwasher. But we get the meat cleaver. We get all those kinds of. The best, right? Of course, one of the best is the penguin. The woman in the penguin suit, like taking Van Damme and running him across like a. It's just
she just like high kicks with the penguin costume, which I also think was really hilarious.
Right, exactly. No, go ahead.
No, I was saying, yeah, it's fun. That was great. Yeah, because that's what's great about the movie. Because even though that part's silly, it gets away with it because it's Van Damme.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the real penguin mascot. Icy.
Oh yes, yeah, exactly.
That's hilarious. It's like he killed Icy. I don't play. I kill Icy. It's like,
well, there's a scene. There's a part where he's got her like near like the fan, the overhead fan, and he starts like pushing the head up into the overhead fan, so it starts like shredding the mascot head. So like then like the rest of the fight, it's like this like half of a mascot head that's like all kind of like
it's like they wanted to just kill Icy off in a movie and then never be seen again. It's like they just do everything to destroy Icy. Icy. That's good. Yeah. I got that one too. I saw them. Wait, Icy? That was the name?
Right, that's the mascot. It's funny, because I think they played the Blackhawks in that movie. I can't remember if it's the Blackhawks or the Flyers, but Tony Amonte, who does he's from the Boston area, and so he does like coverage of Bruins games when like post game shows, things like that. And I remember one of the times they showed like footage of him, because like he's just sort of like skating around, like he's just on the ice, like as a hockey player, like he doesn't really get involved in stuff. But I remember like when there was some of the fight scenes, he was like narrating, was like, "Oh, look how awesome that is! Isn't that great?" Stuff like that. And of course, he's got like the thick Boston accent. He's like, "Dude, he really messed that guy up there," and all that stuff. It was like it's like really fit. And so I was like, "Oh my god!" It's just like a reminder of just how amazing that. Like everybody really, I think for Van Damme, it's definitely up there for me. It's one of my favorites of his.
That's what's so great, because Van Damme, had all that goodwill, of course, because he's Van Damme, so he can do something this goofy and get away with it. It's just like he killed the guy in Sundown with a chicken bone.
Yeah.
So it's like, because when I watched the clip today on YouTube for the pod, it's like, well, the next clip was the guy who got killed with the chicken bone. So it's like, oh, I might as well watch that too. Right. And it's like, so it's like, then of course now, as I told you, I cannot find my sudden death tape. which is signed by Powers Booth.
Yeah, which is just amazing. That's just absolutely fantastic that you're able to get that signed.
It's probably hopefully it's not buried, but it's in this. It's in my house. It's like it has not moved from my house.
Yeah, well, because that's the thing. Like Will from Exploding Helicopter, a lot of times he will play the clip on Twitter of that explode, which is one of the best exploding helicopters in an action film as well.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, I mean, just Powers Booth like plunging into the arena. The way that they shoot it with like kind of like I don't know if they green screened it or how they did it exactly, but
yeah, no, they did that.
Yeah, it just looks amazing. It's just and I mean it's one of those things where it's almost like the people who are making the movie. I don't know what their mindset was going into the mascot fight. Like if they were like, we got to do the mascot fight. If it's because there's always that kind of that thing where like somebody infiltrates, the baddie infiltrates like by pretending to be somebody else, and then the hero finds out who it is. The fact that they felt like they had to do it as a mascot thing was just so great.
I hear there's something about like the guy who owns Icy or that team. I give the team names. What's the team name? Oh, Pittsburgh.
Oh, the Penguins. Yeah.
Penguins. Obviously knows the Penguins. I guess he like produced sudden death or something like that. So that's why he can have Icy in it and all stuff. So it's like the owner of the Pittsburgh Penguins is like the producer of sudden death, something like that. Some weird story about it. That's why Icy's in it.
Like, that makes sense. No, that makes That's amazing. Yeah. Well, because the other thing too is at that time, the movie comes out, let's say 95. So the Penguins
here for it.
Yeah, the Penguins were kind of still big at that. So like they had won, I think, in 91 and 92, I think were the years that they won.
Okay.
Or maybe it was 92 and 93. I can't remember. I should know.
Mark Messier. So besides that, I know everything about hockey.
Well, correct, because Messier wins the year before this comes out. He won in 94. Okay. Yeah, because the parade, going back to OJ, the Rangers parade when they won the championship, that was the same day as the Bronco chase.
That's amazing. Didn't they also I think David Hasselhoff was singing, and then they took that off TV.
Yes, exactly.
What the heck, OJ? I'm trying to
right. He blames that for him not having a bigger career in America. Hasselhoff.
I think I heard that. I think you told me that. Yeah, that's hilarious. It's like I mean, the Final Alliance by David Hasselhoff. It's like in a play. With David Hasselhoff. That's a great movie. We've seen that, right? It's like David Hasselhoff's best movie.
Yeah,
I got the full series of Baywatch to watch, and it's a long time. It'd be a long time to finish that. But Lauren Avedon is an episode of Baywatch.
Oh,
He's a kickboxer.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. The episode's called Kicks, and I don't know if you ever really watched Baywatch, but it's like
I don't remember that episode. Baywatch was one of those ones that I did watch because it seemed like back then anything that was syndicated, I just would watch it, whenever it was on.
Yeah, because we're younger, we're watching TV, got nothing going on. Hey, Baywatch is on.
Yeah, yeah. It was. There was a ton of. I mean, I'm trying to remember who I remember being in episodes. I think it seemed like I know. Ginty was not in. He wasn't in Baywatch. I think he was in Baywatch Nights.
I think he was. Yeah.
Ginty, yeah. So I mean, you got
some Baywatch Nights.
Yeah.
That was a great show. Yeah, I think last I checked are on YouTube, but I would pay, not too much, but I wouldn't pay. I'd pay for both seasons.
I think just Baywatch, but not Baywatch Nights. He played two different characters. He played Ray Regan and then Steven Sachs in another one. So yeah.
I miss Ginty. I wish he was still around. I mean,
I know.
He was older back then, but he'd make a couple more movies,
I mean, age-wise, he's not. I mean, he was. He wasn't that old when he died. He was only 60.
So he could have made 6 more movies that are kind of silly.
Yeah. He was born in 48, so it's like even today he'd be in his 70s. It's like he's not. Because he'd be 75. This year or something like that. So I mean, or 76.
Because you watched 3 Kinds of Heat, right?
Yeah, that one's on Prime. That was a good one.
Oh, it is. That was a good one. I never always wanted to watch that. I was trying to get a tape, but I had trouble.
Yeah, you'll have a lot of fun with that one. That one's just.
I always wanted to see that one because back in the old days of the website, I used to just do Ginty movies and movies of Richard Roundtree. That's all we had, and Harrison Muller Jr. It's like that's all we had. I mean, it makes me laugh. I almost want to go back to that time because he had something called Action on Demand on Comcast. and
Hmm.
all they had were movies of Harrison Muller Jr. So it's like, which is really funny. It's like Mariah Cobb, Harrison Muller Jr. Getting Even, Harrison Muller Jr. and Richard Roundtree.
Yes.
That's the Final Executioner, Harrison Muller Jr. But
Yeah.
we had him and Asher Browner too.
Right, because the thing was right with Harrison Muller or with or with action on demand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the same like 30 movies, I
Mm.
think.
I think it was less. It was like 10.
You
It was
might
like
be right. Yeah, you might be
it was
right.
really low. I was like, oh, it's an action on demand. That's the British thing.
You're right, because it was like one whole thing of like all the movies together, and then if you
Yes.
partialed out like because I think drama or thriller was the one that had Snapdragon, the Pamela Anderson movie.
Anderson. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was like, I mean, yeah, you're right. Like these movies, like that whole that those early days of on demand, because now of course we think of streaming, right? So like and of course like from the cable company standpoint now, they're just they consider it all streaming as opposed to on demand
I mean,
when
like,
they have things.
and when that like popped up on my like TV one day, it's like, wait, on demand? What's
Right.
this? So I checked out. It's like, oh, free movies because I didn't want to pay. Hey, what's up
Right.
for free movies? Ooh, Snake Eater. It's the
Yes.
first movie I ever
Snake
watched
Eater.
on demand. I was like, I'm gonna watch Snake Eater. It's Lorenzo Lamas.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. I
It's
think
like,
that's how I saw the three Snake Eaters were on
that's
demand.
awesome. We both watched on demand.
Yes. Yes.
That's what the British
Yeah.
guy said. My
Right.
British version. Or my state of the Beekeeper. It's like,
Beekeeper.
have you watched the Beekeeper? Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, it's a weird movie, actually. It's kind of like, what? I mean, it's
Yeah, I
like
have to see that. Yeah.
on demand. So it's just like,
Yeah.
or it's on, I saw it was hanging around on the pay channels if you still have those. MGM Plus.
Oh, right. Because what is MG? MGM Plus is owned by Amazon. So
Yeah,
like, so apparently, because the deal with the Beekeeper was that it was like the same people that had the new Roadhouse, and I guess the guy who directed the new Roadhouse was angry because
Doug Lyman. You should read that thing I saw on Deadline.com. He's
oh
like,
yeah.
it's like, let's just say maybe a little unhinged.
Oh yes, yeah, because he was like, oh well, they put the Beekeeper in the theaters, but they made Roadhouse straight to streaming, and I guess Jake Gyllenhaal's like, hey, I get it, he wants to defend his movies, but we all knew it was going to be straight to streaming, like there was never any like idea that it was going to be in the theater.
I haven't watched it yet, Rona. It's so hard to press play because it's like, how can you beat Patrick Swayze and Marshall Teague during the fight scene? How can you? It's Conor McGregor. I
Yeah,
mean, I saw the clip where he's like looking like kind of like an ape. Like, what's going on here? I keep seeing that clip sometimes on Instagram.
yeah,
It's like, what is this? That's why I've been really holding off, but I might just watch it. But
yeah.
I
I,
didn't want to forget one more thing. Oh, go ahead,
oh
please.
yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Or
Yeah,
did
for
you
sure.
watch it? That was my
I did, yeah. So
question.
yeah, because I did it with an episode with Will from Exploding Helicopter, and it's the difference between the old Roadhouse and the new one is that the old one, it just seemed like the characters in it were like I don't know better defined. They were just they
Oh
just
yeah,
worked
like the leg Roadhouse. It's not really that. Yes, there's a lot of punching, but it's really not that stupid. You got your characters you care about. Like how about Old Man Red or whatever his name is.
right,
You know,
right, exactly.
his store burns up with that evil Brad Wesley.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah. It just
it's,
on that level, it just seemed like yeah, it seemed like the old one, like the people sold it better.
yeah,
Like
sure.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
this one, I mean, I haven't watched it yet, but it seems a little soulless. I mean, why can't they just
yeah,
call it like bar fight? Like
yeah,
don't call it Roadhouse.
I,
Why did
yeah.
the Crow remake? Like, why just call it like Revenge of the something like that. Like, something like the Revenge, or something like that. It's called like the Revenge of the Crows, or something like that. Something that not don't put the Crow. It's like,
No, you're right because it is. I mean, it's a Hollywood out of ideas. It's like when I went and saw Cinderella's Revenge at the theater recently. That one that Tom Jolliffe wrote. I was
right.
watching for the podcast episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like all the movies were just either remakes or sequels. Right? It was the Crow remake. It was the Twister sequel. It was the Planet of the Apes sequel. And it's like, do we have any original ideas in Hollywood at all? And it's like,
That's
the
funny.
Beekeeper, I guess.
It's a well, that's just classic Statham. I mean, I will say, I'm interested in your opinion on the Beekeeper because it's
Yeah, I
like,
gotta watch it. I gotta catch it. Yeah, I definitely gotta see it when it's available.
yeah,
Yeah.
Beekeepa.
Right.
It's there like state something like that.
Right. Right. Let me keep him on. Let me keep him.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
That's really great. I didn't want to forget. I know we're probably running a little long here, but I didn't want to mention, because some Trump news,
Right.
because it's like, it's so funny that Stormy Daniels is on the stand. It's like
Right.
our buddy from Wysot. And it's just like, or wrong side of town. People don't
Wrong side. Right. Wrong side.
Right. So it's like, so Trump is this close to wrong side of town. He's this close to Batista in the fight scene. You're the wrong side of town. Great fight scene. It's a rude Batista. And of course, well, now I remember his name. Great, that's terrible. Crump. See, Maurice Crump. It's like Maurice Trump. Okay, great guy. He has the same last name as me. I'm now Donald Crump, just like in the Wayans Brothers. Okay, it's like Stormy Daniels. It's funny that this is ridiculous. Is happening. I don't know. It's like he's like sleeping. He's like he doesn't care. It's like
Right.
it's like and he's just, I have a gag order. It's not good. Not a gag order. The worst gag order. It's like it's not America. It's like sometimes hard to do the impression, but it's like Alvin Bragg has got me in jail. They put me in jail. Okay. And you have anything to say about this hot Stormy Daniels Trump news?
What I would love is if like in the cross examination, if they bring up the movie, they're like,
Yes.
so wait, you received this money? That wasn't money you received for doing Wrong Side of Town? And she laughs like, no, they're not going to pay me $100,000 to do Wrong Side of Town.
And no one got paid $100,000 wrong side of town.
Right, exactly.
Rob
Rob Van Dam didn't get that kind of money.
Rob Van Dam, he's such a freaking meathead in that movie.
Yeah.
It's like because I've seen a fight scene between Maurice Crump and Batista 100 times. Basically, it's like now I can like quote it. I can just quote the scene before they start fighting.
Right.
I can quote the whole song while they're fighting. It's like, oh, here comes that guitar riff before he puts the knife in Batista's knee, and it's like here it goes.
Right. I mean, I do think that for everything that why can't I think of excuse me, I'm trying to think of the guy's name, David DeFalco.
Yes. Why did he do more? But go ahead.
Yeah. Of all the stuff that David DeFalco did, that didn't really work, it didn't do well. That fight scene with Bautista and Maurice Crump, that worked. That was good.
If he just stuck to that, I wish he did another movie like that. I mean, like that was like really. I mean, I praise this fight scene like every 2 seconds, but just like there was just something about that. It's like really kind of pumped up. With the silly song by 7 Days Away or something.
Yes, exactly.
But there's something about that too. I mean, we talked about this almost ad nauseum, but it's like I can't stop. But see, now that Maurice Crump and now Donald Trump, they're connected.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Is that we finally hit a point where I mean we're trying to get Trump into a Randall Emmett film. Like that's ultimately our goal is to have him play a baddie for 15 minutes in a Randall Emmett film in a sit down role, and it's like we feels like as we keep getting these sort of adjacent kind of things, like we're getting close.
Yeah, we're closer, and then maybe Trump could be Ives, instead of Randall Emmett.
Right.
It changed it on IMDb now. It says Randall Emmett, the director of Cash Out.
Yeah, so he's no longer Ives. Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen Cash Out yet because it's not free. So it's like,
right, exactly. Right. Well,
I'm not paying that.
No, that's the thing, right? Is that it's so seldom that that we bother renting movies, because it's like if you've got however many different well, one is Tubi, right? Tubi has so many that like you don't want to spend money, but then the other thing is like how many you're already paying for whatever services, like you just want it to be included in the one you're already paying for, than pay out for an extra one.
And that reminds me, because I was on Tubi, or the quote Tubi, as they have the song,
right.
Is that they snuck on this Lionsgate movie called Sunrise with Guy Pearce. Have you heard of this? And
oh yes, yeah,
Alex Pennyfer. What a weird last name. But it's like I heard if you look up Alex Pettyfer on Google
Mhm.
and you type in the word diva, it doesn't look well for old Alex Pettyfer, and
No.
that's why he's in Sunrise on Tubi. This is which is a weird movie. It's I call it Atmosphere the movie.
Mhm.
There's not much going on. Guy Pearce plays a racist vampire. I'm putting that in quotes. So it's like racist vampire.
I love that.
Isn't that crazy? I was telling that to Brett, and he thought that was hilarious. Like, what? Racist vampire? It's like it's like it's very. I mean, if you like Atmosphere, you'll love this movie because that's all it has.
Yeah.
It's like non-existent except for racist vampire Guy Pearce,
Which is,
who looks a lot like Jeff Fahey and Ruthless in it. So
I was
like,
gonna say, he looks like he's pulling like kind of a Fahey routine, or the beard and the hair. It's like,
yeah,
yeah, it's. I'm trying to think. It's not Fahey, but it's like, yeah, it's like some kind of like whatever like Russian actor that they would have playing, some
well,
character or something like that.
who's Russian character that we see in these movies all the time, or you see him in not these
Oh,
type of ones. You know what I'm
yes,
talking about?
Stormare, Peter
Peter Stormare
Stormare.
also, but there's like Raid Sharverberga. It's like, see this, you ever seen this? You probably heard this. You probably seen this guy in credits.
I think
He
so.
always
Yeah,
plays like a Russian guy, evil Russian guy. I don't know how you pronounce that.
yeah.
He,
But I
I
think I know
forget
who
the
you're
guy's
talking
name.
about. I think I know who you're talking about.
Like he was a guy. I just saw him and he played an evil Russian guy in a movie called Middlemen, which stars Luke Wilson and Giovanni Ribisi. It's a good movie, and briefly Robert Forster and James Caan. It's like a Goodfellas kind of. It's very Goodfellas. My goodness, it's like
Yeah.
Luke Wilson doing his best Ray Liotta impression.
Right.
But it's
Well,
like,
yeah, we got some Kelsey Grammer and yeah.
yeah, but what's weird about it is that I watched. I got a good deal for the DVD, but then the DVD came in on eBay. It was cracked. It's like, oh, no.
Oh,
So
yeah,
okay,
that's the worst. Yeah.
it's the worst. And then I did pay a really cheap amount, but come on, still give me the disc in the right spots and in one piece, please.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, let me see. Not 5 pieces. Actually, it was a brutal crack.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, is it on streaming? All right. Oh, Amazon. I'll watch it without ads. So I put it on Amazon. The Amazon stream was frozen and broken. It's like, can I watch Middleman here? What's going on?
Of
And then
course.
it was frozen. I never had a frozen Amazon Prime stream before. Then okay, how about Tubi? No problem. Tubi was no problem. I didn't want to watch any ads either. It's like, wasn't that weird? I never you ever have a frozen stream. They used to do that on Netflix. It's like you ever have a bad stream?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's that's a good question about the bad stream, because it's like
The Gardener.
yeah, the
Oh,
Gardner, the fact that they removed it. I mean, why would you do that? You don't need to be removing stuff so quickly.
well, that was.
Um,
I mean, did I send you that screenshot of the Gardener not being on Tubi? It was on Tubi.
right. It
Like,
was like, yeah, it was like it was so
content not
quick.
available. It's like,
Yeah.
is
Right.
it like that means it was there?
Right,
It was
exactly.
there.
It was a week. It was like literally a week.
Yeah, literally a week. I thought, oh, we'll watch it. I'll watch it, Brett, or whatever soon. And they're like, oh, it'll be there. It just came on Tubi.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Within a week, it was gone. It's just amazing how they do that. Yeah.
I know it's probably not gonna be that good of a movie, but waiting all this time and
Yeah.
then it gets taken away. It's like,
Yeah. We don't. Yeah. It's horrible. Yeah. Now I
like
will say that actor. I pulled him up. It's a Rade Zerbejda or
yeah,
Bedja.
you've seen this guy, right? You've seen this guy.
Yes. Yeah.
Usually evil Russian guy. I'm assuming he's Russian in real life.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like,
And it's
he plays,
who Guy Pearce is playing in this movie.
basically, yeah.
Right.
He looks just like him, right? It's like,
Right.
and he plays like the classic, typical Russian gangster guy in Middleman. It's like this is like wow, this is straight out central casting. It's
Yeah. I saw it's
just,
got Jacinda Barrett from the London season of The Real World. So you got it's
right.
always good to have a Real World alum in one of these movies.
We should probably let people go in a minute, but I mean, like, I sound like I'm like on a dating program, like, or maybe singled out because didn't she date Chris Hardwick?
Oh,
I heard that.
Jacinda Barrett, she might have. Yeah. Yeah. That would make sense. Yeah.
I think he's married. I think he married someone, but she's in some dumb movie I watched, Titanic 666. Lydia
Yeah,
Hurst.
yeah, because she's married to Gabriel Macht from Suits.
Oh right,
And of course the SWAT sequel.
Firefight. Yeah,
Yeah. SWAT,
I know
yeah.
from SWAT Firefight, not Suits.
Yeah.
I guess they're making a new Suits. Like I thought, isn't Suits boring enough? Like you're making another Suits.
Yeah,
Like,
somehow. Oh, yeah, there she is. She was engaged to Chris Hardwick. Yeah.
yeah.
The problem was Yeah, it's like I guess like that it got some kind of following on Netflix. Like people really like it on Netflix, and that's like the whole thing was that like it so yeah, it suddenly has like this second like life on Netflix.
I don't. I mean, it's not for me. I mean, like I rather
No.
just watch on order. You know, like Suits is like people just walking down a hallway talking about deals and then getting mad about deals. That's the clips.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
like, but if they get Meghan Markle back, then maybe we'll see. But it's like
Right. Yeah,
she doesn't want
exactly.
to work anymore. She's lazy now. I know she has kids, but you can go to work.
Right.
But it's like you're like, see, if you want do people care about Meghan Markle anymore? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I think
Yeah,
she's lost favor.
yeah, it's because when you're not part of the royal family, I mean, it's like what are they doing? You're just hanging out in Canada, I guess, or something. I don't know what they're doing. But yeah, I don't think
You
people
should make
care.
Damian Lee movies. You know, here we go. Just make those in Canada. With like Jeff Wincott when the bullet hits the bone too. I'll just
Right.
say Meghan Markle. Just like
Right.
that's
Exactly.
that's a very niche reference, but I mean, like, but you get it. It's
Yes.
like, she just makes really, really weird Canadian movies. It's like,
Yeah.
what's that director's name? Guy Madden. That's a guy, right? That's a person who's a director, right?
I think so. Yeah, I
He
think
makes
so.
weird movie has what's her name? Who's in Blue Velvet?
Oh,
Laura
Kyle
Dern.
MacLachlan?
And that Laura, no, Isabella Rossellini.
Oh, Isabella Rossellini. Yes, yeah.
Like, see, I can't tell who Isabella Rossellini is or Greta Scacchi is. You know, like who's who? It's like
Right.
remember when Greta Scacchi? She was popular, kind of.
Yeah.
And there was also Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's that period in the '90s where you just had all those names, Andy McDowell, yeah,
Yeah.
Mary Sue, yeah,
Oh, I know. Oh, oh. I just can't. Whoever's in Blink. Oh, Madeline Stowe.
Madeline Stowe, exactly, yep, yeah. Annabella Sciorra was kind of
Yeah.
a different, but she was kind of in the same mold, yeah.
Yeah. You should put all those people in the movie now. It's like
Yes,
yeah,
just have them on one movie,
Desert Dawn of female movies.
right?
Like who? What? Who's the whole set?
Right, yeah.
They're in the Ryan Phillippe factory. You're in the Andy McDowell factory. It's like
Right,
you want to change the Ryan Phillippe factory to the Andy McDowell factory. But,
right.
I mean, that's kind of nuts. We should probably let people go because I'm going insane. Because it's
Well,
like I know.
yeah, exactly. But do you want to do your plugs? Do you want to
Oh,
plug
it's
it up
fun.
as we're
Yes.
wrapping up?
Well, first off, thanks for having me on again, talking about these two movies. It was fun.
Yeah, I think Dermot is as much as the
Yeah, Dermot.
movies themselves were a little bit of a disappointment, or maybe a lot of bit of a disappointment.
Yeah,
The Dermot himself was a fun conversation piece. I think
yes,
it
it
was.
was.
It,
'Cause he
yeah.
still has something there, but he just needs to pick the right material,
Hmm.
and let's try again.
Yeah.
Let's go to Section 8. He was like I said, he was very good in Lights Out. What he got of him.
Mhm.
Glenn Close, not so good. See, but yeah, so the links. What did we were laughing at before at the beginning of the podcast? I don't remember.
It was to be.
Oh yeah. Oh, the thing from Cat Williams. Yeah,
I can't believe
yeah. Something there's on Netflix. Oh, Tubi. It's like
to be.
it was on Tubi. Okay. It's like, I mean, sometimes I run into clips on YouTube or Instagram. I watch it. I listen to the whole thing, but it's like
Yeah.
there's no way another Club Shay Shay podcast is gonna be like so weird to say that Club Shay Shay. It's like, but it's like no, there's no other way. There's no podcast gonna be like that because
No.
But all right, plugs. Yes, ComeuppanceReviews.net is the website, and on Facebook under that name, and then Ty Comeuppance on the Twitters and Twitter X, and then what else is there? The Comeuppance Reviews the podcast on everywhere you can get your podcatchers, and Ty Action Rocks' Instagram handle, and I actually posted the movie, which was The Sender to Michael Madsen,
Oh, yes, I
and
saw that today.
me and Stephen Williams, our buddy from LA Heat. That's the show, right?
Yes, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, and Marvosa. Or no, he wasn't Marvosa, right? He was saying Marvosa in Blood Fist 7, which is one of the
yes,
best. Yeah, just hearing him say Marvosa is like a beautiful thing.
yeah, that's why he was hired, and that's why he's in it, and that's why it helps the movie along.
Right, exactly. Whereas I was joking that when they wrote the script, they added a character named Marvosa once they knew they had him signed on, just so they could hear him say it. We
Yeah,
could all
like they
hear him say
rewrote
it.
it. Script, and John the Dragon doesn't mind.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
didn't mind. He didn't mind that at all. Wait, what's the? I was talking about the other podcast. Inferno. Wait, it's a different title. I'm repeating stuff about podcasts, but
Which one? Like a Damme the
there was
Dragon film?
Yeah, that's Evan Laurie.
Oh yes, yeah, that's an amazing one with directed by Fred Olen Ray.
Was it called Inferno or
It,
Operation Cobra?
so it's both. It's one or the other.
Yeah, I kept calling it Inferno, but I guess that's technically right. So, but
yeah, no, I think it's both, right? Yeah.
I watched that a few years ago on my birthday. Like, this movie delivers the goods because you got your Don the Dragon and his hilariously fighting noises and hit.
Right. Yes.
I hope he's not gonna do that in Phoenix Code. What are they called? Shepherd Code.
Shepherd Code. Yeah, which we'll be looking at later. Yeah, I mean, because what's the Evan Laurie is also, and I mean, he gets taken out. So he gets taken out by a snake, like something like that. So
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So it Operation Cobra or Inferno. So it's actually Inferno on IMDb. I believe it was produced by Corman. I think it was another Corman production.
Because I think that's what, when I did the podcast with Brett the other day about Behringer coming this Wednesday, May 15th.
Yeah.
What a plug. I mentioned Inferno. I couldn't remember Operation Cobra.
Yeah, it's the same name. Yeah, it's the same movie. Yeah. And it's produced by I don't know if you can hear the ice cream truck coming by here. I don't know. It's 9:30 at night. What kid is getting ice cream at 9:30? I guess it's South Philadelphia for you. So
it's dark out where you are?
Yeah, it's dark. Yeah, exactly. It's creepy, right? It's like kind of like a horror movie.
Yeah,
right?
Clint Howard's back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I love that he was. Wait, what were you saying before? And then I'll go back to the ice cream man. I want to cut you off.
Oh no! I just Operation Cobra. It's or Inferno. Fred Olen Ray directed, Corman produced, and you've got Wilson and Evan Laurie. So. Yeah, I mean, the Evan Laurie when he gets killed by the snake at the end. Also, Rick Hill. I forgot Rick Hill was in it as well.
He's wearing like sarong.
Right, exactly. Yeah. That's a fun one. It's on Tubi right now. I think people.
Fantastic! Yeah. People should really watch that one. It's like that's a classic, like really good Damme the Dragon Wilson movie, kind of like Red Sun Rising.
Yes, yeah, I agree totally. I think just see for external reviews here. It's you guys, it's me, it's Explosive Action, it's Video Vacuum. It's like 10 reviews, and the four of us account for.
That's like a high quality Wilson. I mean, I think we did Don the Dragon or Don. We now karate our peril, or we call this. I'm screwing that up. Wow. But the Don, I forget it. But it's like what is it about Ice Cream Man? Yeah, I just remember if you look this up online, then I'll let you go. Wow, long pod today. But is that Clint Howard was on the Kelly Clarkson show, and then Kelly Clarkson asked about the Ice Cream Man, and because that's like his claim to fame. I like Clint Howard. I just watched Barbed Wire. He's hanging around that.
Yeah.
Yeah, decent sized role in it too. But yeah, it's like Ice Cream Man. Yeah, it's my man. Like, what's the Ice Cream Man? I had a terrible Kelly Clarkson impression, but it's like the movie I made, 1995. Yeah, I'm an evil Ice Cream Man.
Well, as we're wrapping up, another great piece about Ice Cream Man. I think it was the last role that Lee Majors Jr. did, or Lee.
Really?
Yeah. So of course, remember him from Chinatown Connection, right? Chinatown.
Yeah. So we go right back full circle.
Right. That's great. Yeah, Art Camacho as an actor in that movie versus directing now and Ruth. Yeah, without Ruth. So Ruth. Exactly. So we come full circle.
New title now, Without Ruth.
Yes, Without Ruth. Yes. Exactly.
Like, wait, am I at a roof? No, Ruth.
Yeah. Maybe we'll call it Without Ruth, the Dermot Mulroney double feature, and then the two movies. Yeah, that way.
Okay.
Yeah, Without Ruth.
Yeah, it sounds like. Yeah, I like that. I should do that one. It's a good title. But I should let you go.
Yeah, well, thank you again for coming out. This is another fun one here.
There's one more last thing. Are we going to do Shepherd Code and Bruce, right? That's our next
So so I think we're going to do, giving people a sense of what will coming in July. We're thinking Shepherd Code, the Dawn the Dragon Wilson film is on Tubi, and then Fortress, the Bruce Willis movie is on Prime. So we'll make that one happen.
Jesse Metcalf and Chad Michael Murray, and I think Shannon Doherty, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, because James Cullen Brezak, and so I guess Doherty's one of his mainstays.
I like that. Hey, hot seat.
Right, exactly. Right. Yes, we got more Doherty coming. So
so that's Orlando Fryer.
Yeah, exactly.
Giant drama. People have to try to listen back to the podcast again. It's stupid name and that.
Yeah, so for anybody listening, you can always go to the Letterboxd list that has all the movies you and I
Yes.
have done in this series. So you can go back and see it. You can see what episode the Johnny Drama double feature was, with Hot Seat and
That's great. And you put so wait, you add those after you post the pod, right?
yeah. After I post the episode, I'll go and add them. Yeah.
You posted
So
the Madsons. Wait, did you post Madsen yet?
no, Matt. No. So as we're recording this, Madsen will be coming out the week after we record.
Oh, that's
this.
right. This is June. Right? One more till Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Excellent.
Well, what's it guys go?
Yes, thank you everybody for listening, and yeah, we'll talk soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. All right.